this one. Here.
If you want my assistance, we'll find some manners.
I'm not a danger to society.
Unless you got scissors.
You're not here to shower, are you? You're just trying to have a look.
Did you really go there?
You should try it. It does wonders for your complexion.
You look great.
Really? I'm not gay. I'm a woman. And I always have been.
It's not about looking bad, Bea. It's about who I am. In here.
What if she asks me for it? If I see another bottle of this in here again, you're fucked! You can't stop now, Bea. You can't. I won't let you.
Most of my life, the only person that's cared about me is Bea.
I delayed treatment to hold the fort when you asked me to. That's how loyal I was to you. Now they have to fucking cut my breasts off. It's my choice, Spoon.
Well, it's fucking selfish!
My breasts are part of who I am. No one's taking that away. Take it from me. If you get a second chance, you grab it and you don't let go.
You guys have been waiting for him since Chicago, right? It is his first time on the WentworthCon stage. Everybody, make some noise for Socratis Otto! Keep those hands up! Make some noise! Hey, hey! Are you excited to be here? Everyone! Say, we love you, Socrates!
Okay, everybody, take a seat, take a seat.
Let me give it so that you can actually hear them and they can hear you.
Actually, no, don't take a seat. I've got something for everybody. Well, not everybody, 4 people. 4 people.
He wanted to get you really excited and then take you down a notch.
But you've got to be, don't fight, please don't kill each other. Try to grab these, okay?
I'll hold this for you.
1!
Are these prison skills? You gotta make some noise for him if you want to get it. Come on, the louder you yell, he's gonna send it out to the loudest area. One last one. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. You ready? You gotta say, Otto, 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 Otto. Nicely done. Next time you'll be throwing out the first pitch somewhere, right?
Thank you for humoring me. Wow.
Are you excited to be here?
Just a little.
Or is this leftover energy from the Australia flight over here?
No, yeah, so I'm just looking. I haven't seen these people, these women, these immaculate ladies for so long, and she's like, they're so gorgeous, aren't they? My beautiful.
Oh, that's.
But like, I mean, seriously, how gorgeous is she?
I feel like you should just rub right here.
Well, I wonder if she has had a reconstruction. I don't know. She may have, but we don't know whatever happened to poor Maxie.
It's been a question.
People are going to ask me, but
well, I will tell you, there are excited fans.
I need some water.
You need some water. Do we have water somewhere? I'm sure someone's going to get you water. Look, they're running right now. Don't worry, we'll get it for you. So you have fans that have questions for you, but before we get to them,
Yes.
Quick question for you. So
Look
Chicago.
at you, gorgeous Steph.
Oh, thank you. Maybe I should put that on my new profile picture. Or turn to the other side. No?
No.
No takers? All right, whatever. So quick question for you.
Yes.
It was how long of a flight here?
Well, I was in Spain for about just under 2 months. I think usually, I don't know. Actually, I haven't been to LA. I haven't been to America for about 10 years. So I don't know if it's the flights are quicker than they used to be. It felt like it was a day in the air, but I was in Spain for 2 months.
And you're filming, right?
I was filming, and
So tell us what you're filming.
It's a feature film. It's a third part of a digital series called Cancelled, which ironically was was conceived in the pandemic from a very good friend of mine called Luke Eve, who wrote and directed it, and he lives in Spain and he's married to a Spanish woman. He's an Australian and is married to a Spanish woman, and they just decided, when in lockdown, and as you know, Spain and Italy were two of the worst countries. And he decided to document his life in a digital format, and then he put it on Facebook, and it went gangbusters all over the world.
You guys heard that?
It's called
Facebook,
Cancelled.
right? It went gangbuster on Facebook.
Right,
Sorry,
totally.
go on. Yes.
Millions of views all over the world. And then they did part 2, Recancelled. It was all about him going to Spain to get married, and the wedding was cancelled. So they were stuck there with his mother.
That's kind of like being in Wentworth, right?
Karen ended up being very, very famous since then. She still is. And Recancelled was when he was going, when the pandemic was restrictions were lifted, but then the second pandemic hit and everything was closed down in Spain. But then Maria fell pregnant. So that was Recancelled, and then because of the success of that, they got enough funds to make a movie called Uncancelled, which is finally going to Spain to get married, and that's what we shot for the last 6 weeks. It was incredible, and that's going to come out hopefully at the end of the year. But to answer your question, it was also to go to Paris was 2 hours and then 11 hours to LA.
So are you exhausted, or are you just high on Wentworth
really
life right now?
It's been 2-3 years, I think, since I'm supposed to come to I'm breaking my virginal hymen here. And we were supposed to, I think the very first, when COVID first hit and we didn't know what the hell it was supposed to come to Jersey, I think, Kiana. Yeah, 2020, February, March. And then last year, around the same time, Chicago.
And you had COVID, right?
Yeah, one or 2 days before I flew, I got COVID, so I couldn't come. So this is third time lucky.
So how many of you guys went to Chicago and were excited to see him? So now he's here right now, ready to take some questions from your fans. So we're gonna go over to the left side first, all right? We're gonna take our first question over from you. What do you have for Socrates?
Hang on, I have to put my glasses on because I'm so blind. I'm surprised I didn't knock anyone out by throwing those t-shirts in that.
He really didn't know who he was throwing them to, so be extra happy.
Okay. All right. Here we are.
Oh, okay, it's working. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
I love it. I prefer my liquid breakfasts. I don't like anything too heavy, otherwise I just sort of get a little bit stuffed and a little bit lazy, especially in this business. Coffee? Black coffee, and I just had a banana.
Coffee's the best.
What did you have for breakfast?
I had an iced chai tea and
Nice.
a cake pop from Starbucks.
Do they still do pumpkin spice there or something like that?
No, just chai tea.
Okay. Was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
Awesome.
That's the breakfast of champions right there.
There is that question.
It's
Nothing
like-
else is going to compare to that.
Yeah, no, that's the best one.
What's your
Thank you
name?
so much.
What's your name?
My name is Zoe.
Thank you, Zoe.
Zoe, where are you from?
Sacramento.
Okay.
Sacramento in the house. All right, thank you so much, Zoe. All right, we're gonna come over to this side. All right, tell us your name and where you're from first.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here. Hi, Sox.
Hello.
My name's Nicole, and I am from upstate New York and just moved to Florida recently.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
excited to see you here. I do have a question. I love you so much and thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
But
Absolutely.
I do feel, and I know this isn't your fault, but I feel our relationship never really got any closure. So I'm wondering, and by the way, I'll never be over Maxine not coming back for the finale, but that's another story.
Right.
How do you imagine Maxine's character ended up?
Yeah, that was a beautiful
It's a
question.
great question.
Sorry, what was your name again?
Nicole.
Nicole. A beautiful question, Nicole. And since the end of the show, people have contacted me directly asking the same thing, or whenever I've done Wentworth virtuals, or even when we did our podcast, Teal Talk, with Kiana, people are constantly saying that. And to this day, people ask, what do you think happened to Maxine and why didn't you come back? Not my choice. A puzzle, hurt incredibly. I would have liked to have come back. But I think what I like to imagine is that Maxine went and healed herself over in Barnhurst, and I think her sentence would have been lifted, or she would have served a sentence, so she would have been released. And why she didn't come back to visit the girls, I don't know, but I think that she felt so loved by them that she had the confidence now to sort of spear forth and heal herself in every way, psychologically, physically, and I think that was her priority, and I think the girls imbued that in her. She was that important that she was going to start taking care of herself first. So I think she healed herself, and I think she's living her second best life. That's what I like to think. That's what I like to think. We never heard anything about her being ill or dying, and most of these inmates died, so she didn't die, and that's nice. So I think she's living her second best life.
Question for you, Socrates. In order to realistically play a trans inmate of the Australian prison system, what kind of preparation did you do for that?
Great. Sorry, your name again, from Thunder Bay?
Maureen from Thunder Bay.
Isn't it funny we think that we remember the places more than we do?
Well, you don't forget a name like that.
Maureen.
I'm from
Okay.
Thunder Bay.
Maureen, look, I may not have been transitioning in real life, but I think I was a professor in knowing what it was like to feel inferior, to be bullied, to be told you don't belong here, to want to leave this earth, to hide, and to crave love and compassion. And so I imbued Maxine with what I know as Socrates matters matters most in the world, which is kindness, compassion, loyalty, integrity, and love. And the key for me is I've always thought that the soul does not have a gender. Strip this skin, we are all skeletons. Physically, we're all the same. Metaphysically, we all want to be seen and held. Right? At the end of the day, no matter what, that's all we want, right? That's all I ever wanted. And so I imbued her spirit with that. I didn't think of her as, male, female, trans. Of course, I did the scientific research. I wrote a whole backstory about her life and what happened with her family, her parents, her partner, her work environment. But a lot of that was in like a parallel universe to my experience as a young boy growing up. And so, hello, look at your gorgeous dress. Amazing. And so I think that again reverberated across the world because people went, well, yeah, that she represents goodness and positivity, and so I think that I did my job.
I agree. Thank you for that question. I just have a follow-up to that one.
Of course.
So can you tell us a little bit about the backstory that you created for your character?
Well, yeah, I can. If I can remember, I think she was. Her parents never really wanted her. They kept telling her they regret having her, that she doesn't deserve happiness and she's better off dead. And so all through her life, she was at odds with kind of going, well, I feel something completely different inside. You know, I feel like I've got something to give. I've got a lot of heart, I've got a lot of cheekiness, I've got a lot of imagination. But so she was constantly in a warring environment in her own her brain. And so when you get that lonely, you kind of, things get skewed. So there was unfortunately a self-sabotage when people kept saying to her, you know, just go off yourself. And so she would, you know, drink, and then she would go out and she would meet random strangers and, you know, all kinds of weird stuff. And then there was one particular guy who her what was his name? See, I've already forgotten him, so see. Gary came into her life, and when she was a man at the time, and they hit it off. But then he's just started to abuse Max. I think there was something in relation to what was happening with Max at work, but I can't necessarily remember it. But Max ended up being a carer for a lot of people because
that makes sense.
Yeah, working in I don't think it was a nursing home, but caring as much as they could, because he knew what it was like to crave that and had so much to give, you know. And so, but constantly there was this warring thing of like, I don't belong, no one wants me here, but I've got a lot to give. And somewhere along the lines, Max kind of went, you know, I don't feel like I'm in the right body. I don't feel like I'm seen for what, you know, how can I transcend what's inside me? And then I think, Steph, it's quite a long time ago.
I bet it is.
That's when the transitional process came, and Gary flipped out, and then, you know, that's what happened.
Well, he deserved it. No, I'm just kidding.
The stabbing?
I was kidding.
People are nodding, oh my goodness. Well,
just joking.
He attacked us. It was self-defense.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
See?
You're right.
I did watch all the seasons.
It was really interesting though, because a lot of people don't, if I may indulge, do you remember the scene where Gary comes back to prison and Maxine is so excited, even though it's like, come on, wake up. And she's she doesn't expect to be so emotional with him and kind of wants him back, and or just wants some sort of bond. And I was shocked by that, and I actually remember Kaz behind, and that changed Kaz's tune as well. Just seeing what Maxine was like, and but I remember that scene, and I just thought, oh, you poor little girl, you're still kind of holding on to just wanting to be loved in that dream, you know, which again is something that's so pure and something we should all hold on to. But you know, I think you've got to actually be completely depleted. You've got to be completely depleted to rise up and actually see things for what they are. And I think that's what's been happening since then. What happened since after that? Anyway, sorry.
I feel like she's a very inspirational character for a lot of people are like in this confused space. They don't feel comfortable in their own bodies, and her kind of like making this metamorphosis and saying, this is what I want to do. And no matter what, with the cancer and everything else, and saying, no, this is my fight, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. And going back to Maureen and Lena as well, is that a lot of people around the world, whether they're transitioning, they knew people who was transitioning, they keep to this day, right? It's so bizarre because the landscape has changed so much in terms of what trans means. You know, at the time, people thought, so if you're playing a transvestite or you're playing a transsexual, they didn't really understand what a trans meant to transition. But a lot of people around the world just kept saying, oh, okay, thank you for illuminating. It wasn't totally me, it was the script, it was, you know, some of its parts, but thank you for illuminating what a trans identity can look like and be like. And also it's not that scary, and it brought people together. You know, I'm still in touch with someone in England who transitioned from female to male and said his parents just didn't want anything to do with him, but he made them sit and watch Wentworth and Maxine, and they embraced him, and now...
Oh my God, what an amazing, that's amazing.
But those stories continue, and they blow my mind.
That should keep you going for the rest of your life.
Well, I think so. I said to people, I don't care about material wealth. I don't care about awards. I mean, if I've changed someone's life,
yeah, that lasts forever.
Based on this character that I recognise so much inside, then that's why I said I've done my job as an actor, but I've also done my job as a human being.
Oh, I love that. I love that. All right, well, I don't want to stop these guys and girls over here because I know they've got plenty of questions. So right over there, we're back to you. Name and where you're from.
My name is Christina. I'm from Tampa, Florida.
Christina, hello.
Socratis, I have one question for you. How difficult was it? Because you did such a great job playing this character. I mean, I didn't even know that you weren't trans.
Wow.
How difficult was it to go back and explain to people, I am not, in fact, trans? The fans that come up to you, even your family that looked at you at this performance and was like, maybe questioning that you might be?
No, my family didn't watch it.
I honestly,
my family
that's
don't
sad
watch
to hear.
anything like
That's
that.
sad to hear, but I wish
I wish I had a bit more of an interesting response to that, but I don't. I mean, a lot of people have commented on, I didn't know.
Did you feel like that pigeonholed you, held you afterwards to get other characters? Or was everyone very accepting?
A little bit. I mean, I've always been a chameleon. Since 2000 I've been acting and I've gone across the gamut of roles. And I think I've always been a little bit out of the box. As Sox, as a human being, but also as a creative artist. And back home, people have kind of understood that and respected that. So I'm kind of a character actor, and they're very confident with me getting to that point. But after Max, I don't know, it's strange because of the diversity thing, because of like people saying trans actors only need to play trans characters, all that kind of stuff. Things got a little bit askew. But every now and then I never. Yeah, there were a couple of things that I got asked to play trans roles, but again, it was weird, and a lot of it in American stuff, actually. That was filming in Australia.
Would you guys love to see him in an American show?
Yeah. Well,
you need to work on that.
Yeah, well, there's a... But yeah, yes and no is the answer. There is a show coming out this year, but I'm playing an English guy. It's sort of an English thing, but it's a Disney show called Nautilus, which is based on 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Right. So I'm in that, and that's a 10-part series, which is like it's so much money involved in that. But I mean.
So put that on your calendars, everybody. All right. Nautilus, right? Nautilus. Yeah. All right, we're coming over to you, my man. I know you've been waiting patiently. Your name and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Jamie, and I'm from Arizona.
Jamie?
Nice.
Hey, Jamie.
I just wanted to take a moment and thank you very much for helping so many people get through the pandemic. I discovered Wentworth probably about 6 months into the pandemic, and it was a stressful time to say the least. Yeah. And the show gave me some escapism, and I actually recommended the show to some really close friends, and we were able to talk about the show, and everything was very stressful during the pandemic. So then at the end of the day, I could watch your character and everyone else, and I could get angry at something else and be stressed out from something else. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to the writers, thank you to you, thank you to everyone, because it did give escapism, and I want to thank you so much for that.
Oh my,
thank you.
I would like to share that with everyone back home. Thank you, Jamie. That's beautiful, man.
If Mr. Jackson needs a love interest, I'm
What did he say?
He said if you need a love interest.
Mr. Jackson is available.
She's going to put you through the ringer though to make sure you're the right guy. After everything she's been through. Thank you, Jamie. That's beautiful.
Thank you so much. All right, we're over back on this side.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tamika. I'm a long-term woman.
Tamika,
yes.
Hello.
And I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so thankful for you guys in making Wentworth just the apple of my eye. My question for you is, if Maxine never went to Burnhurst, who do you think she would serve as a loyal hench to, or do you think she would have become top dog?
Ooh,
she would have been such a good top dog.
Yeah.
She's going to change the prison system, but I think, in terms of the drama, there wouldn't have been much drama, because she would have said, no violence, no violence. Everyone kind of wants the blood and gore. Beautiful question, Tamika. Instantly, I've kind of gone Ali, because Ali was you know. Oh my God, that jawline. You can tell how much I love her, right? Wow. So I understand your obsession with these women. I had the best job. Can you imagine? I had the best job going to this show and sort of being surrounded by women. And the role to be hurt. Oh my God! It still baffles me. You know, what are the odds and for it to work? I would say Ali, especially because Ali rose to be top dog. I think she would have been beside Ali and probably helped her a little bit more than those who you know, Kaz and Mari. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just trying to think. She had the cancer, yeah. So she wouldn't have been able to be top dog. She was quite shattered physically and emotionally after Bea's death. So I think she would have been loyal to Ali. She was next in line.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tamika.
All right, we're coming right back over here. What is your question?
Hi, I'm Tori from Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you so much for being
Tori, hello.
My question is, the show has a lot of amazing storylines. Which one is your favorite?
I was going to say, which one's your favorite? Which one's your favorite? No pressure.
I honestly couldn't say. Probably the whole Ferguson line all the way through.
Ferguson with who in particular?
Oh, I think herself.
Herself, right. Yeah. The narcissist incarnate. My favorite storyline. I would probably go back to season 1. When I got the job, I was living in LA, and I had 3 weeks to binge watch it, much longer than what people do. Binge watch it in sort of like a day or 2 days. And I was completely obsessed with her performance, and just like, she made me weep. And then the whole thing about Debbie, and Debbie's in Nautilus as well. Debbie's the main character in Nautilus. Or actually Nautilus. It's English. And of course it was Braden. Was it Braden? Yes. Yeah. So that whole thing, and for her to escape the way she did. I mean, I will never forget that thing. She comes out of the hospital, puts the hood on, and then what? Right? And then that scene where she finds them. Yeah, that whole thing of her revenge on Braden and what was that top dog? Jax. Remember Jax? No one talks about Jax. She was as scary as this one. No?
I don't think anyone was as scary as that one.
Anyway, Jax, that voice. Chris McQuaid's voice, Jax. But yeah, it would be Bea's storyline in season 1. Pretty special.
Great question. All right, I have a question for you. In terms of your character, right? I don't know if anyone else thought about this, but when you had to stop taking your hormones, right, because of the cancer, and
oh, hang on. Oh, yes, the cancer. Okay, not when Ferguson took them away from me.
No.
It's so easy to have them.
So many different chances for that one. But did you? The love. Just
do you know I played her boyfriend in a show back in 2001 in a theatre production. She was playing a lady, and the dame of Australian theatre called Ruth Cracknell played her mother who had dementia, and I played a variety of roles. I was like the narrator. I was Ruth, so her mother's father, but then I played Mehmet, a Turkish boyfriend. Because she was a chef, and so I was learning to be taught from Pam. And there was one scene where she's stirring the pot, like a bit like Ghost. You know how they she was stirring the pestle and mortar, and Mehmet comes behind and sort of starts to feel her like this. I swear, I still remember it. I still have that picture somewhere.
Wait, can you do that one more time? Get your cameras out. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Give it a good caress. There you go. That's the moment you were all waiting for, isn't it?
People are going to think I'm doing what you did to Maxine before.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of love up here. There's a lot of love.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, were you afraid, like at any point did you think, like did you know what the script was gonna be like ahead of time? Because I was watching it and I kept thinking, oh my God, are they gonna move him to a male prison? Because now he doesn't have the hormones anymore, this and that, and now they're gonna...
No idea, and as you know, she had no idea that she was gonna be killed by this one. Isn't it? I feel like a weatherman, and it's over here, and it's over here, and it's over here. No, I had no idea, and what I did say though, when they said, okay, Max, we're going to take your socks. We're going to take Maxine's hormones away. We're going to shave her hair. What was Sigrid's character? Sonia, to serve Sonia's storyline. I'm like, really? And then the whole mastectomy. I actually was brave enough to go up to the writers and the producers and say, okay, I've got an idea for you. See what you think. Because Maxine is at the point now where she accepts herself, she's kind of going, okay, people love me for who I am. I don't need to be a woman. People love me as Maxine, regardless of what I look like, whether I've got my breasts or not. Kind of finally hit me, or hit her. So, if she comes back from chemotherapy, why don't we brave seeing Maxine wear no makeup? Where don't think about having breasts, actually kind of healing, looking like, I don't want to say regenerating back, but looking, more masculine, but still identifying yourself as trans and Maxine. How revolutionary would that be? I said to them, we don't have to worry about a wig, we don't have to worry about breasts again, all that kind of stuff. I mean, she's finally standing for herself. That's actually progressing the idea of what trans means. However, if that's a little bit too bold, I'm also happy if Maxine comes back to kind of go think about, let's have breast reconstruction, yes, and grow my hair again, blah, blah, blah. But I think by that stage they had other ideas, and I think that was a little bit too far from them. But that's the kind of show we were all part of, and they invited our ideas and, all our thoughts. Within the episode or in the future, but
So what was your last day on the set like?
I was sewing in the laundry. It was beautiful. It was sad. They all. I don't think I had any lines, but I was just sewing. And no, they were lovely. They all gave me a round of applause and said. There was actually a line that got dropped. There was a few scenes that got dropped, especially with Boomer in the last couple of episodes. There's a little bit more closure there, but there was.
Can you tell us about it?
It was basically Maxine saying, "I will come back," and there's something about the baby. There was a scene that was dropped, and I can't remember what it was, but I do remember them saying, "We will see you shortly." But I'm old and wise enough to know that you don't believe anything that this industry tells you. So I took what I did, and they were all so gorgeous. And off I went, and I think I had to travel again. So yeah, I can't recall. But yeah, it was beautiful. Bittersweet, but beautiful.
I think it is bittersweet. It's bittersweet for everybody that the show ended. Believe me, they all wanted to come back, right?
I still think there's going to be a sequel or even a prequel featuring Nicole and Frankie's character. I mean, I always have said that.
Maybe there should be a Wentworth movie that comes out, just saying.
Movies out of series, they don't really fare that well. But I think another reimagining of Wentworth, whether it's a prequel, I think people would be curious about that. I don't know if what happens next is, I don't know how many people would tune in. I mean, I remember with Teal Talk with Kiana, and a lot of people kind of were like actually I can't remember Kiana what they said. I think it was us that kind of went, I don't know about the ending. It's kind of all tied up. I don't know what bringing Wentworth back for a season 9 would be like, but I've got an inkling that they have thought or possibly will think again about
rebuilding
a spin-off of some sort, featuring the most popular characters.
Who liked the ending?
One. She ran off like Frankenstein's. Dr. Frankenstein, right in the mist. Come on.
She's like Jason from Halloween.
She's like
Keeps
Jason.
coming back. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, we didn't forget about you. I know you're over there. So tell us your name and where you're from. Our last question.
I'm Callie. I'm from Colorado Springs.
Can you say that again? I'm so sorry.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm Callie. I'm from Colorado Springs.
Callie. Hello.
My question is, if Maxine had stayed on longer in the show, what storylines would you like to explore with her?
The last bit again, I'm so sorry. You're a bit close to the mic.
I'm sorry. I'm so short.
No, you actually don't need to get that close to the microphone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Maxine had stayed on longer on the show, what storylines would you have liked to have for her?
Well, the one I just said, I would have been really fascinated to play and see what it would have been like for Maxine to kind of say, I do not need to go back to what I always used to do, which was like a disguise of some sort, you know, whether it was a blonde wig or you know, hiding my frame. I think she would have just kind of go, this is who I am now, this is who I am. I have had cancer, I don't have breasts, I'm not taking my hormones anymore because there's a risk that it might come back. I accept myself, I'm a trans woman, even though I don't have hair or breasts. I would have been fascinated to see what that would be like, because again, across the world now, you see so many people saying I'm trans, and they look, you know, they don't look like the trans people now that we think, you know, that they should look like. So I think that would have been fascinating, and again, another step for a you know, an Australian show, and something that continues to be groundbreaking.
Thank you. All right, I've got a question. I'm wondering whose this might be on their mind. What would a boomer Maxine baby look like?
I think there's a few online. I think that, you know,
Is there really?
There's been a few interpretations online. I don't know. What would it like we're both big and we're both I mean, tall people, big people, and we're both dark. So I reckon I don't know. It'll probably be very similar to what Maxie and Booms look like. But hang on, she's pregnant.
Is she?
Yeah.
Wait a second. Was that after? Oh, that's right. At the end, she's pregnant.
With that guy.
Yes. Although I did get afraid. Did any of you guys get afraid of that everything happened in that last episode and she was pregnant?
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
Here's what I mean. It was all kind of all just neatly tied up.
I know.
It's kind of strange with a couple of people. We just wanted a bit more uncertainty, I think. You know, even seeing you, oh my God, Lou Fox, what's her name? Lou Kelly, just on her own there, and then the guards and all the inmates together just felt a little bit, I don't know, guards and inmates together. I know they've had a fire and everything, but still, we never really saw that for 8 seasons.
All right, of all the cast.
Actually, can I just ask?
What was that?
Hands up who agree with me. It was a little bit a bit too easy, a bit too sort of like...
The ending.
And the other side, who loved it? The end? I still loved it. Yeah, okay, but you agree. Okay, so... No, good to know. All right.
It was nice to be able to leave it feeling like everybody was okay.
Yeah,
you know,
I understand that. I understand that. Yeah.
It would have been nice if they did that show where you have like multiple endings and they had like 3 different endings. You could watch whatever one you want. Wow. Like make your own story.
Who does that? Do they do that?
We should start. We'll just get you all together, get Kiana on this, and make something happen. Right, guys? Why not?
Yeah, like Choose Your Own Adventure kind of
Yes, yeah, Choose Your Own Adventure. I used to love those books. All right, we're at 9:46. I have 10 more minutes.
Okay.
So here's what I want to do. Right, we're gonna go through the room. Hold on, we're gonna go rapid fire. I'm gonna shut you down, so you gotta be quick and focused. Who's got a question? Oh, right there.
What's your cat's name?
If you couldn't hear, the question was, what's your cat's name?
Yours is called Socks. A lot of cats are called Socks. Mine's called Chi, C-H-I. And I'll tell you the story.
Like the chia pet?
Yeah, like this is kind of embarrassing. I don't know why I said this. Chi's a stray, and Chi's about 1 year now. But like I had a cat before Chi called Chelsea Llama. Now, please don't judge me. I was watching Search for a Supermodel. No, Search for a Pussycat Doll. Right? And Chelsea, there was a character called Chelsea that she got voted out that night. At the same time, the Dalai Lama was in Sydney. And outside in the apartment, like in these little bushes, I found sort of 5 or 6 stray kittens. And the apartment block, they all took one and left little Chelsea, or who I named Chelsea Lama, because that was the day Chelsea got voted out, and Dalai Lama was here. So Chelsea Lama became the cat. Now, my mum fell in love with Chelsea Lama. When I had to travel overseas, I gave Mum Chelsea Lama, but Mum, she had broken English, so she couldn't really say Chelsea, so she would say Chi-Chi, Chi-Chi. And so Mum passed, and in honour of Mum passing, this stray that was just found in my new place, I called it Chi, for her, but also just in, good luck and good nature. And she's just been the best friend you can imagine. Obviously, I'm a little bit obsessed. Chi needs its own Instagram page, but yes, Chi, and I haven't seen Chi for about 2 months, and I will in 2 days' time.
So wait, who's watching Chi now?
Friends, a multitude of friends. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
it's good to have a group. All right, where's my next question? Right back there. Yep, you. Oh, you got to get up and you got to yell. Yell.
I heard. How long have I been acting? Oh, here?
You've got better hearing than I do.
Since 2000. So where are we? Yeah, I'm not good with numbers. Not good with numbers. I failed maths, but I was good in English and they scaled me up. Is that what they do here as well? In my high school certificate. So I passed, I went to university. But yeah, since 2000. So I'm an old man, and I've been really lucky because acting is the only thing I've ever done. So at first I was like, actually no, I said I'm really lucky. I used to say I'm really lucky, but I worked my ass off. And now I'm wearing, as you know, I love caps, but now I'm wearing different caps. So I'm directing, I'm writing, I'm producing, I'm doing all sorts of things.
Big round of applause.
It's kind of full circle. Now I feel like all that stuff that, they used to tell us, also, the industry is really can be quite toxic. And as actors, we often feel like we're at the bottom of the barrel. And it's kind of something that they like, this hierarchy. And it's like, I kind of distill that. I've always distilled that in my own life. Maxine distills it in her life. And so now that I'm kind of heralding a few things, I've got to set a precedent, which is like we're all inclusive, and I can learn from the costume department, I can learn from the production team, whatever, everything. It's not disparate, and so I feel like I've gone back to being the kid in his bedroom playing with his Matchbox cars and kind of going, oh my God, the world is at my feet now and everything I can create, and it's so, like, I love what I do more than ever now, more than I did when I first started, because I was like, who do you want me to be? Oh my God, what am I really, you're giving me this job, but now it's like, well, I can let go of the ego, and I know what work is work, but I also know that you can instill human connection and learn from it, and it just becomes, especially in this world, in this day and age, everything becomes, I know there's joy in every moment. Joy in every moment. You just got to look for it and open yourself up. It's true. It's true.
So I have one last question on that note. So you said you're directing, you said you're, writing, you're doing everything. Yep. If you could rewrite if you could
cast
rewrite...
you in something?
What?
Cast you in something?
Oh yeah, please cast me in something. Yes.
I want to know about Steph.
I'm like, yes, please cast me in something. No, if you could... we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
If you could rewrite the last episode, for the
God.
cast that was there, how would you end it?
What a brilliant question. Oh my God, I think we spoke about it on Teal Talk. That's 3 times I plugged that. Oh my God, okay, quick, think. I think she would have had a day.
She would have had a what?
I would have got rid of the freak.
Oh, thank you. We all thank you, right?
I would have got rid of the freak. I know.
All right, wait. How would you have gotten rid of her?
Vera.
Oh.
Obviously. Vera. Oh my God, that was... What? How would I do? How would I done? Oh my God, I can't think. I'm sorry. I feel ridiculous not having Oh, I know. My God, I'm so stupid. She's the one that told me. And she'll probably say this if you ask her. She may remember this, but like it was the most brilliant thing. She goes, you know, if there was a fire and all that kind of stuff, blah blah blah. And, you know, whether she died or not, blah blah blah. But the last thing is you see the brawler coming in, boom 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 boom, and just at the last minute the door opens. Out pops Maxine, and then out pops Bea. And everyone goes, what the fuck? Now that would have been like, what? Did we just dream this? Were they at Barnes? Because there was a whole conspiracy theory that, you know, she was taking to Barnes and Maxine went out. And when she said that to me, I'm like, oh, imagine that.
So I want you guys all to stay hooked on that last portion right now, what that would have looked like. And I want everyone to give a big round of applause. Come on, get on your feet. A big round of applause for Socratis up here on stage. We were waiting for him. Now, I know a lot of you out here have photo ops, right? How many of you guys have photo ops with Socratis?
What's that? Photo ops?
There are photo ops coming. There's a lot coming for you. But right now, I'm going to let you get some water off stage.
Yeah, I'm going to change because I'm a little bit sweaty.
They don't mind, I promise you. One more time, a big round of applause up here. Thank you so much.
Are you kidding me?
We're going to continue this conversation a little bit.
Honestly, this has been such joy. All right, I'll see you soon.
I'm Kaz.
You call yourself a defeater of women? You're pathetic.
I wish I'd been there to see him die, to watch him drown in his heart. You're nothing but a fucked up little girl who's trying to save the world. I will not put my girls in danger to protect you. We have a responsibility to take that bitch down. I attacked your brother. I am the Red Right Hand. You could be out in 2 days. Or dead in 1.
You fucking psychotic
Listen to me, okay? Stay calm. Okay?
I need to know that there is at least one good guy on the other side of it. By bashing each other, you're only hurting yourselves. Grow up and see her for
You won't let me grow up!
I don't want to be this way anymore. I'm not well, am I? No, honey. But I'm here and I want to take care of you. When I was a kid, I was the victim. I was Karen. But I refuse to let that be my story. Baba, I love you.
Get on your feet, everybody. She is the nicest top dog, right? Make some noise for the one and only Tammy Macintosh. Come on, keep that applause going. The question is, how do you sign that? Oh, 2 sold-out round tables. Kiana had to add a round table just for you. Are you guys excited right now? If that's not some excitement to walk into, I don't know what is.
You know what? I get so nervous and my heart beats so fast when I see your smiles and feel all this love and beautiful energy. Thank you so much. And I learned to put on waterproof mascara because you cats do this to me. Yeah.
They love you.
Shut up.
All right, let's get everyone take a seat. Take a seat. This way you can take a seat. Are you all right?
I just...
It's amazing.
But it doesn't matter how many times you come out here, it's just this heart stab of amazingness. Yeah. Okay. I'm chill now.
I love the singles. Woo! So I'm going to start out by asking you one thing. All right?
Oh, that sounds scary.
No, I'm not scary at all. Only to my children at bedtime. So in that last scene where you were writing in your blood, how did you feel? I've been wondering that since I watched that scene.
It was horrible. It was a really poignant day, and it was funny because nobody from the time we did the table read of the script all the way through rehearsals and could work out or were told who killed Kaz. Like, nobody knew. And we had this box, I created this box in the green room, the Who Killed Kaz box. And you had to put in some money and a form with who you thought killed Kaz, and at the end of it, if you were the winner, you got all the money. And not even I knew. And I was like, hang on, how's that gonna happen? And why am I writing M? So it's Mari, or it's a man, or it's Mari or a man, so what?
Or was Mari a man at some point? No, I'm just kidding.
So it was really funny, and on the day that they did it, I couldn't even see who it was behind me.
Oh, you literally, there was no idea of their character.
Like, it was a stunt person, but the director's like, I don't want you to even look and talk and say, hey, morning, how you going? Don't even. Just walk the thing and know that. And in the rehearsals, I'd walk the thing, they'd put the mark there that say stop there, you'll get the thing, it'll slash, and then we'll cut, and then we'll go into, we'll do all the blood stuff that we had to do, and then we'll go into it, because I had this whole neck piece that had to be sliced and had to be put on, so we had to cut then. So I didn't even know, and I just felt this hand. And I was like, it doesn't feel like Susie Porter, and Susie's really short. She's so short. And you know what she would have done too? She would have giggled. She would have gone. So I knew it wasn't Susie. I'm like, wow. So we get through the scene and the blood and the losing the blood, the unconsciousness, and just laying there was like, this is my final moment on this beautiful big family show that I've invested so much into. I don't know why I'm teary with you people. Man up, Macintosh. Come on, man. And so it was really bittersweet. And the crew was amazing. They were just silent throughout the whole thing. Normally it's really noisy and people are cracking jokes and eating snacks, but that day on set it was just silent. And everyone was there around me, just energetically giving me that space, which was so graceful and so incredible. The most amazing crew and the most amazing cast. So to lay there for that little final moment, I was really tired from all that acting, so I was like, at least I'll get to lay here for the next 8 hours on a cold concrete floor. But, it was also time, I think, for Kaz. I think you noticed throughout the beginnings of the series, 1 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, you get your top dogs, and when you're the top dog, the only way from there is down, because everyone else is trying to climb up the ladder and the shit up.
I thought you were going to say Shiv. You said Sheila? I think that kind of goes hand in hand, though, with Wentworth, doesn't
ladder
it?
Trying to pull you
You're
down.
trying to climb up a Sheila? It's about right, yeah?
Yeah. And so you only really get, 3-4 seasons at most until you start kind of running around the same circles and telling the same story. So it's time, and Wentworth was such a cutting edge show that they weren't afraid to, kill you off. I remember the day we had the read through. We had a series arc overview of season 7. And I was the only person who knew that Kaz was going to die and had phone calls with the producers and all that stuff. And we went into the big table read that was the overview. And we had the head writer and the producer and the director and everyone sitting at this really long table. So in Ep 1, this happens and then that happens and and then, Rita does this and all this stuff, and they get to F3 and go, and suddenly Kaz, her throat gets slit, and they just kept reading. And then everyone went, oh! And they all turned to me, and I just went, and they still couldn't shut their mouths nor breathe. And it was just beautiful. There's such a fucking great crew, this crew, and this family is amazing. The whole thing is just magic. So that was a long-winded answer to how I felt writing M.
Well, were you guys all wondering that same thing? Because that's like insane, I'm not gonna lie. I will tell you this before we get to our fans, because you've got a lot of fan questions over here.
I can't open the water, I'm too sweaty and teary.
I will never say who my favorite is because I think that you guys are all incredible, but my son...
And you don't want to be bashed.
I don't want to be bashed either. I don't want to be shanked when I go to the bathroom. But my son is obsessed with you. My 11-year-old son is obsessed with her.
And so he should be.
He's like, Mom, she's the nice top dog. She died? I was like, yes, they killed her.
You know what's really cool about that is for a lot of people, you know, Kaz was painful to watch in the beginning. And I get it, she was painful to play in the beginning. Like she was so angry and so anti but when she wanted peace for the women, which is so not a top dog thing to want, it's really interesting that your son stuck with that and thought that she was still great amidst that. Because most kids would go, oh, that's crap. You know, I want the person who's gonna like, you know, punch people out.
Yes. Well, that's what he does in real life. So,
kudos to you as a mother.
Yeah. Oh, I'll take it any way I can get it. But I'm gonna go to them because they have been waiting for you like there's no tomorrow. So our first fan right over here. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Hi there. My name is Lisa, and I'm from San Diego.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Tammy. Thank you for being here.
I can't see her from over there. So I'm going blind. My brain's getting foggy. Gonna hang with him.
So my question is if you had any input to change the storyline between you and Kate, Allie, what would be the one thing you would change to make that outcome in the relationship between Kaz's character and Allie's character go in a different direction? What direction do you think you would take it?
Of course, I would never have let them have Kaz go to Bea and say that she set her and Allie up. That was a dog act, and it cost her, you know, her family. Allie was her only family. Apart from that, have Kaz not die and Kaz and Allie get the hell out of there. Thank you, it's a good question.
Thank you.
Great question. All right, we're gonna go over to the left side. I'm gonna make you can run back and forth. You're wearing the right clothing for it. It's like a jogging suit. I feel like, you know, let it breathe.
Hi, why are they so far away?
Well, because otherwise they would be blocking the aisles.
Hi, Tammy. First of all, I want to say you were my favorite on the whole show. I was here last time, and I had to come back just to see you.
Thank you. Is she saying that to everyone who comes on stage?
Oh, my name's Yolanda, and I'm from Baldwin Park.
Yolanda, hi!
You kind of answered the questions that I was going to ask, but you answered them already. But I think I'd like to ask you, what was your favorite scene playing Kaz?
My favourite scene, but also the scene that I dreaded the most and actually spent nights in tears about prior to shooting it, was in the very first, not the season 3 phone calls and the red right hand and the looking at the television and Robbie coming over to the house, Will coming over to the house. It was the naked protest for conjugal rights. So I get to season 4 and it's the first episode, and I've done a couple of scenes, but that's it. So this is kind of my first day. The show's established, it's gone through the roof, the acting bar is here. Read the script of the thing, I haven't had it before, it's a naked protest. Like, no, it's a fully
Full Monty.
naked protest. And I read it, and we finished the read, and the direct, and everyone's like, everyone's clapping, great episode, and they're like, you good? I'm like, yeah, man, that's amazing. No, it's going to be great idea. Who wrote it? That's my back pocket. Anyway, so then I sit with it a bit, and at the time I have a 13-year-old son. And I'm not getting any more comfortable with it. So I called my agent one night from a little house I've got in Port Melbourne, and I called her and go, I can't do that. Like, it's my first episode and I'm going to be that actor who can't do it. And it's amazing, like it's really out there and, you know, cutting edge, and it would be great, but I cannot let my 13-year-old son and all his friends Google and YouTube and resend this shit out for the rest of my life. I can't. And I don't want to lose my job. Like, it was serious. You think about it. I want you to come to the next convention naked, all of you. Otherwise we're going to cancel them.
What would you say?
All right, well then we're going to cancel the conventions. This is the last one. It's all over. So that were they were the stakes. And so I'm on the phone to my agent, just like, look, you know, just think about it a bit more. You can get a little patch, you can get a little G-string thing. They'll put a couple of bits of tapes on your girls. And I'm like, okay, I'll think about it some more, I slept on it, and then I woke up the next day and I went, I got an idea, but I can't tell anyone at the powers that be. This is what I'm going to do. I knew nobody. I knew Dan, I knew Nicole, Celia, but I didn't know any of the extras, who are extraordinary. So I went around the next day at work and I made sure I met every extra, loved them, talked about the thing, went, are you in the thingy scene? Are you in the thingy scene? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it? Do you want to do it? Yeah, I'm fucking great with it. It's going to be amazing. Okay. How about you? How do you feel? I don't really want to do it because I've got a huge scar from when my husband stabbed me. Oh my God. True story. Because a lot of our extras have been in the system, or they've lived hard lives. They're not just from an agency of anyone's. They're like, these girls know a thing or two about a hard life. So I worked through my crew and I went, okay, I've got probably about 70% who would rather not, but 30% who cannot wait to show their bits. So then I went on a campaign of going, you don't have to. I didn't even talk to the producers or anybody else. I just thought, I'm gonna do Kaz. Here and now. You don't have to show your bits if you don't want to, because I'm not going to. And because I involved them and together we shared our concerns about it, together we kind of went, we'll do the naked protest our way. We won't do it any other way. And if anyone says anything, we'll send them to you, Tammy. Yes. But together, we worked out a way to do it. And if you go back and look at that naked protest scene, you'll see some chicks are loving it. And most of us, including me, kept the singlet on, did the whatever, a long way from being nude and doing all that stuff and then having the guards come out and lift you up while you're nude. So for me, that was my favourite because of the way we all worked together to make it work for us, and so we felt safe and protected, and also that, you know, we did it the way we wanted to. That was a really long one.
That's amazing.
Hi, I'm Sam from Melbourne, Australia. I'm also an actor, pretty successful, but we're good. My question for you is, what was the process like getting cast as Kaz, and how did you prepare for that role?
Oh, that's another long-winded one.
Sorry. You can do a short version, but
I'll do the short version.
We love the long version too.
We have all day.
You're good. I'll tell you when you get short on time.
This is short on time. So we all did a series of auditions before Wentworth had started. And Libby, me, Aaron Jeffrey, Danielle Cormack, Celia Island, Nicole De Silva, most of us who'd worked with Joe Porter before on a show called All Saints had kind of gone in. Robbie had been flown from, had been flown from New Zealand, and we did a set of chemistry tests. So had a green room, there'd be a couple of people in filming and doing some stuff, and then we'd come out. Libby had a 6-week-old baby. She had to go in and do her test, so Celia and I walked the baby around the block. So, you know, it's Australian actors competing for you. That's the way that goes. So we do all that. And then we finish, and I get a call the next day going, I auditioned for 3 characters. I auditioned for Bridget, I auditioned for Bea, and I auditioned for... Kaz wasn't a part of the show, and I auditioned for... Wasn't Doreen? No, it was Celia's character.
Liz.
Oh my God, thank you. Liz. So all those... And so I got a call the next day saying, love you, but can you test for this? Go in and test for that. Love you, but can you test for that? Do all those tests. It goes away. I don't get it. I don't get it. So I'm seriously in between jobs in probably the biggest hole in my career of not working. So I work for a friend at a construction company, answering the phones. But then I settle into this job. Like, the guys are really great, and they've got the hats and their caps, and I'm looking after trucks, and I'm looking after, like, huge construction buildings. I'm like, I'm really fucking good at this. So they shoot season 1 and 2. And then someone calls, my agent calls, and says, oh, hey, remember Wentworth? And I went, yes. They want to test you for something. Tell them to fuck off. I don't think I've told this story before. She said, you can't say that. I said, I fucking well can, and I want you to say that, quote, unquote. Long story short, after a few phone calls and not testing, I got Kaz.
And how did you prepare for that? Like,
Sorry.
I did have a double question, but like tacked it on the end there.
A lot of YouTube, Google search, looking at things that nobody should have to see. Really. That amount of pain and anger and hurt and betrayal, don't get me started. No one should have to see
Thank you. Thank you for that question. I have Tammy, quick question for you. So all the people that you went out, you auditioned for, now playing this role, is there any other role that you would have wanted to play?
No. I'm a really firm believer in life, and you can think it's hoogly boogly or crazy, but I'm a really firm believer in what is yours will not pass you by. You are here for a reason, and nothing is a coincidence.
Love that. Love that.
My name's Amanda from North Hollywood.
Hi, Hannah.
Hello. I met you last time. You were absolutely lovely. You made the convention for me, so thank you.
Oh, thanks. Don't make me cry.
No.
Someone be mean to me.
Just don't stop and it'll be fine. One of my absolute favorite things about the entire series and all the characters is the character development that they do really well in that writer's room and that you guys carry through. So I would say for Kaz's journey, what do you think was your biggest takeaway from somebody that we could look at the TV and be like, oh my gosh, she's just a pain, but she's so good at it, to this is my favorite character and now they're gonna kill her. What was that journey like for you in those seasons that you played that character?
I'm just going to go with the takeaway because I think that's more important, and I think you get the answers to the other questions and I'll be here all day.
Absolutely.
I think the biggest takeaway for me as a human being, being an actor playing Kaz, is that it doesn't matter how old, how deep, how ugly, how brutal the pain that you went through is. It's deep, 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 deep in the onion. And a lot of things you can pretend or think you're covering it with. But once you start allowing yourself to peel away just a layer at a time, like Kaz did throughout the series, just a layer, and it hurts to peel, layers of skin off. That if you let yourself do that, if you love yourself enough, if you give yourself permission enough to just surrender, that you can be the person you were before that hurt left its mark. That's my takeaway.
Thank you. Oh my. OMG! Give it up! Give it up! I fucking love it. All right, right over here.
I was seeing a child. My pants are falling down.
Don't worry, nobody minds.
It's not the naked.
Sorry, your name is?
No, you're fine. My name is Natalie, and I'm from Colorado, and we went to WentworthCon in Orlando, and one of the things that struck me was that everyone who we had the opportunity to meet that day said that you were their favorite person to work with. So my question for you is, what do you think it is about what you do on set or who you are as a person, as a group member, that makes you somebody people like to work with?
I think it was the cookies that I bought to work and the money that I paid them. I don't know, that's really... It's the worm.
Yeah, I'm learning what it is as I'm standing here watching you.
I don't know. I don't know, I love people and I love...
The energy you just showed us.
But, you know, life is...
Make people comfortable.
Life is big, you know. And I think a lot of people carry too much. But you don't need to. And so, I don't know, I just like to lighten loads. We don't have to carry that stuff. It's not important. If it's not going to matter in 5 hours or 5 weeks or 5 months, fuck it off.
Yes!
I don't think you guys get to know the impact that this has on me. It's never a one-way street. So I grab so much from a group of people who are here for the same reasons as much as you may think that I'm giving therapy, they're giving it straight back.
I love that.
It's, you know, look, they're all nut jobs.
It's a give and take, right? All right, we're down to you. Are you ready?
I am.
And then there's one after you. So listen, no pressure. But you're the last question, so make sure it's good. All right, give us your name and where you're from.
Hi, Tammy. My name's Khalees, and you won't believe this, but I'm actually also from Sacramento, and this is also my first con.
Khalees.
I knew you were itching for a hug there. She said, wait, do I get a hug too?
Real into high school.
They're all from Sacramento, and it's all their first time.
I'm running. I'm doing it fast. I'm doing it really, really fast.
Getting those harder. Everybody's from Sacramento.
What's...
I swear you can quiz me.
All right, one big group hug. Ready? She hugs with her legs. Remember the monkeys I was talking about earlier? Or koalas? All right, what was your question for Tammy?
My question, in the interest of levity, like you said, who is most likely, I love bloopers, so who is most likely to break or like crack on set?
Not me. You will rarely find bloopers. I had to fight to make a mistake. Sounds really egotistical. No, but like, I don't like going to work not 100% prepared, especially as Kaz. Susie Porter.
Really?
She's the cutest little thing.
That's incredible.
And she's so sweet. I call her like Nana. She's just so sweet to hold, and she has this beautiful light, angel energy about her. So, you know, when she's coming in and trying to be a hard bitch and fight people, every single take after, you know, yeah, fuck off, you fuck off, ends with...
That's good to know. Thank you so much.
Every single take.
All right, last question over here.
Hey Tammy, my name is Allison. I am from Bourbonnais, which is part of the Chicagoland area of Illinois. Totally thought I was smart and reading last and realized this was a really dumb idea. So everyone's already asked my question.
Take our time.
Everyone's already asked my question, but you know, it was first time on WentworthCon, so I thought I'm doing this. I am freaking out right now. So.
Can you run to me?
way up here. But I'll say it's my first. Is it really a first? No. Oh, I'll say run up there.
So my question is, when people who've never heard of Wentworth, they go, it's just... I know people get up. So when people ask what it is, some people are like, it's just a prison drama. So what would you want people's takeaway to be from Wentworth? Because we all know it's not just a prison drama.
Can I ask you a favor?
Sure.
Can you tell me your takeaway?
Oh, man, as a teacher, I should have known you were going to reverse psychology. And honestly, my roommate was watching it, and I was like, okay, this is just a prison drama. And then season 2, when Ferguson came out, I was like, damn. Then Kaz comes out, I'm like, screw lesson planning. So what I loved about it is that I never felt like you guys were acting. It felt real. And so your death shook the shit out of me. For a few days, I was like, I can have a funeral or something. Like, this was rough. Because it was just like you had such a turning point. And I, too, also had incest and abuse in my life. And so seeing that represented was mind-blowing. You just don't see that anymore, and or ever. So my biggest takeaway was just the rawness and to see that you can have all these problems and rise up. And not only rise up, but you can inspire others to do so also. So that's my takeaway.
My takeaway is what she said.
You know what? On that note, I want everyone to rise up. Everyone just get up. Get up.
Rise up.
Hold on. We've already seen. Come here. You ready? I love to do a little dance competition, and I feel like you rock it. You ready? You guys want to dance with Tammy? You gotta follow her moves. I want to see everyone out here. Come on. You ready? Oh my God. Ready? You gotta get low. Uh-oh. Come on, I don't see anyone dancing out here. Come on, she can't dance by herself. Come on, get those hands up for Tammy. Who's got the best dance moves out here? Come on. Boots with the... I can't hear you. If you love Tammy, get those hands up. Come on. Everyone get low. Ready in the front row. If you love this woman, on the count of 3, say we love you, Kaz. You are amazing. Thank you so much.
So please, make your own tea. Jesus, you got a finger on me and I'll fucking kill you! I love you to the moon and back. Just tell me! Please, is she okay? Please! What do you mean you don't know? Where's my little girl? You have survived. You think I give a fuck? I am stuck in here with nothing. I don't give a fuck what Frankie says, because Frankie won't be running things around here for much longer anyway.
So what do you want?
I want payback for Debbie. I'm gonna kill the fucker. You put the fucking needle in her arm, and you don't know. Freak. You don't run this prison. I do. It's bees! You go against me in any way, there's going to be consequences. You be careful what you wish for. The girls need you more than ever. They need their queen. Everything's gonna be okay.
I just would like a quick show of hands. Who has been to a Wentworth, or seen me at a Wentworth convention before? And who hasn't? Okay. So, it's great to be here. I am always incredibly humbled. Those of you who have seen me at events like this before know that I'm pretty rambunctious, but I thought I would try something different this time and sit in my kind of I'm that shy person in the corner. But already it's making me feel incredibly uncomfortable. So fuck you, bitches! Hi everyone. I was just kidding. See what a great actress I was? You were like, oh my god, something's wrong. Oh no, she's fucking. Oh no, she's changed. She's changed. Gotcha! Super excited to be here. It's always great being back in LA. The heroin's really good. Fentanyl's not such a nice time. But yeah, to those of you who have just joined the Wentworth fam, welcome. To those of you who have been here for many, many years, God, you guys are screwed up. Can't believe you keep coming back for more. Who the fuck was watching the show 22 times? I'm gonna do a little side hustle, a little counselling service for you guys. I wanna make a shitload of money. Seriously, 22 times? Okay, baby, you're gonna be my best customer. So, how are you feeling this week? No, it's wonderful to have been part of a show that is so loved by so many and resonates with so many people. You know, I heard the question backstage, what was your favourite, or what was your favourite moment of Bea's? Mine, frankly, now when I look back on it, I'm like, oh God, that scene where I got to sleep. You know, I didn't, just to be pretending to be asleep. Fucking brilliant, loved those scenes. You know, not getting stabbed or shot or hung or strangled or, you know, grieving over yet another lost loved one. I was editing together my show reel the other week because I just need to re-edit that stuff all the time, you know, because I start to have a different idea about what I want to be represented like as an actor. And I just realised that Bea's moment, she was always on the phone crying. I've just got the series of like, you know, the most emotional moments of my character just fucking bawling her eyes out all the time. Debbie, Ellie, Debbie, Ellie, Debbie, Ellie, Harry, Debbie. Anyway, I know that there are some wonderful folks down the side that want to ask me questions. I may or may not answer them honestly. Can't guarantee. I'm a little bit irresponsible and, you know, a bit all over the place, so you guys love that about me, right? Fucking love you! I'll try and walk around a bit. I'm just trying to get really fit, which is why I've got weights in the bottom of my shoes. This is my like marathon training. Or am I practicing to be in like the Addams Family? Am I just being a cunt? Okay. Hi, darling. Hi. I'm sorry, by the way, if there's anyone in the room that doesn't like swearing, leave now, because I'm not going to not swear. Because I'm a cunt.
Hi, my name is Isabel. I'm from North Carolina. I know you typically start off your panels by saying you're an open book, so hopefully it still stands this time. And obviously I know you have a lot of insight into playing your character, but also a lot of other experiences. So what I'm curious is, if anyone could ask you any question, so what you're referring to when you say you're an open book, if someone could ask you any question, what do you wish it was, and can you answer it?
Oh, okay. What do I wish people would ask me? Can I think on that?
Yes.
Can I think on that one? Because, you know, obviously the thing you want people to ask you the most is the thing that you least want to share. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You go, oh, I'd love to, only because I'd love to be able to let that secret out of the bag. But then you go, but I can also get in a lot of trouble. I don't know, like I always feel like I've let everyone know everything about me anyway, that there's nothing new that I could tell you about myself, you know? Yeah, no, I'll get back to you on that one. Thank you so much for coming. See you at the bar.
Hi. Hello. So this question's actually for my mom here.
Hi, moms. Hi.
Hi, my name is Lindsay. I'm from Fresno, California.
Hi, Lindsay.
It's my first WentworthCon.
Watch out. You'll never leave the same, you know this.
I hope not.
Good.
Well, first I just wanted to say that I absolutely love your character as Bea Smith. The raw emotion that you portray in it throughout the entire time is just incredible. But with that comes a lot of sorrow for your character. And I, with your death, felt like I never got any closure, so I wanted to know if I could have a hug.
Yeah, are you sure does that mean that everyone else is going to want, can we just have sex instead? I just like, none of this foreplay business, none of the fucking foreplay. Just get straight into it, you know? Straight into it. If I will come over there and give you a hug, I will do, but I want to ask you, Lindsay, I don't know if the rest of the people can see, Lindsay's got a red blanket on her lap. Is this the fuck blanket?
Yes, it is.
I'd wash that if I was you. You've seen what we got up to on that blanket.
Oh, yes.
That red blanket became its own character, didn't it? Yeah. It got its own. Who's written any fan fiction about the red blanket? See, that's what I want to see. I want to see a spin-off series of Wentworth called The Red Blanket. And it's chronicling what actually happens to the red blanket. What cells does it end up in? Who with? What happens on the red blanket? Lindsay, I'll find you somewhere in this room today.
Awesome.
And I will give you a giant hug.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. That's all. No, it's actually not. I got some really great news yesterday. And I wanted to share it with you, but I can't really share it with you. So I'm just going to speak a bit cryptically. So I just landed a job that I really wanted to get, but it may or may not be with someone who was on Wentworth that I get to act with. But it's not Nicole De Silva. I imagine it'll be announced soon. I haven't, the contractual stuff hasn't come through, but you guys are going to be creaming. It's it's going to be super fun. Hello.
Hi, I'm Ashley from Bakersfield, and my question for you is, if you wouldn't have died when you did, do you think you and Allie would still be together?
No, because she goes and fucks Frankie. See, that's where things could have gone a little bit belly up, right? You know, she just becomes like an uber, like, you know, she just wants to do everybody. And Bea's like, oh no. Did you see that movie Boogie Nights? Yeah. You know the character, William H. Macy's character, and his wife's just sleeping with everyone all the time, and he keeps on walking in? That's what Bea would be like with Allie. She'd walk in and she'd be like, oh no. She's sleeping with someone else again. That little red blanket is giving a run for its money. It's hard for me to think beyond what was actually created for that show. You know, to go, do I think? I don't know. Do I think that, you know, they could live happily ever after? No, because Wentworth is not a soft a soft kind drama where, you know, it's like a Hallmark card show. It's like you need to have that loss and that grief and that, you know, like double crossing and all of that psychological manipulation to make it what it is. So that no one can ever be happy in that show. It's actually death to it'll be a snooze fest. You'd be like, oh wait, hey honey, Wentworth is on. I can't wait to see how happy they are this week. Oh look, they're getting on so nicely. They're brushing each other's hair. You ain't going to be tuning into that. But, you know, I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame. But, you know, that's the life in prison. Isn't it? Thank you for your question. I'm going back over here now. Anything else? What's going on? I just want to know what's going on here. I don't want everyone to yell back at me, but who's drunk? One person. Good, okay, good. Who's high? Good. Oh, there's more people high here than drunk. Good. Who had sex this morning? It's good to see there's two people over there that are getting on, boom, boom, shake the room. You can borrow the red blanket later on. We could have a little corner, the red blanket corner, where people, if they want to, you know, have a little Billy and Ellie reenactment, they can go and lie on the red blanket. I'm really happy to see that no one's left the show just yet. Thanks for staying. Hi, hun.
Hello, my name is Debbie, and I...
Hi, see, I'll be on the phone to Debbie going, Debbie.
And I'm from Washington State. First of all, I hail to the Queen. My question is, in the character, you were an artist. Are you an artist?
Well, yes.
I mean, drawing.
Yeah, I drew, that was not supposed to happen. That was, for those of you who haven't heard the story before, I wrote that into the script. Not into the script. I wrote it into something that the character would do, and then they went, oh, that's cool. Let's just write it into the script. And then it became something that could be a proactive thing for the storytelling. Like, you know, suddenly she's painting, is it Jesper? Yeah. And I was like, oh no, now I have to fucking draw and everything. No, I only did it because I wanted the character to have an action. And I was thinking, you know, it was a perfect thing to, you know, to immortalize Debbie for her. You know, like she was in prison, and I was like, I'll do a little, like a little R.I.P. thing to her. And then they kept it in the show. So yes, I had to do a lot more drawing. But am I an artist at home? No, my art kind of manifests through more so through writing, acting. I like photography and painting. I don't really like pencil drawing. That kind of literal drawing for me is not so much. But it served the character and it served the storyline, so it was good.
I'm from Ohio. My name's Carly, and I just want to say thanks for my mom for showing me this show. She's actually out front, VIP.
Where's mom?
And what's your favorite thing about traveling?
My favorite thing about traveling?
Yeah.
I guess getting to meet new people, going to culture, hearing the stories from different parts of the world, I guess, you know. I like getting on a plane and not being able to be contacted. Watching movies on the plane. Drinking on the plane. I think travel is a privileged position. And there's a lot of people in the world right now that are struggling. You know, I come over here, I see the prices of things. I'm like, God damn, same as in my own country. So, but you know, traveling doesn't necessarily mean that you have to fly anywhere else. It can be just when you travel down to your local markets, or for me, life should be an adventure. And it doesn't matter whether you have the money to be able to do it or not. There are things that we can do in our everyday to be adventurous and to travel somewhere. Like you will sit and watch a TV show and it takes you somewhere, you're traveling. But I love the idea that wherever you go is to really absorb and connect with where you're going, and because every place has got a story. Whether that story is being told through the people in that place, through the environment, through the sounds. You know, that's what I like connecting to. You know, it's like, you know, I could travel outside here and go, what's the sound of the traffic? What are the wild birds here? Are there any? What are the people telling me as they walk past? So, you know, my favourite thing about travel, I guess, is just, trying to be present and absorb as much as I can about that environment. Yeah, and getting drunk on the plane. Over this side, hi.
Hi, my name's Angela. I'm from the Woodlands, Texas, and I wanted to ask you.
There's some Northern Texans in here? All the drunk ones. Right on, baby.
And this is my first con ever.
That'd be horrible though for me. Sorry, I'm sorry, I'll come back to you. Sorry. I always think, my head went somewhere really rude just then. I was like, yeah, I'd love to be in Texas then. And I'll be like, well, maybe not. Does that mean I have a massive vagina? Whenever I come to these cons, I always end up talking about vaginas. Always.
Pineapple.
I love it too. Anyway, so sorry.
This is my first con ever, and I just
Welcome.
And I just recently started watching Wentworth for the first time this year. And after working for the jail system for 10 years, some of the episodes were very triggering for me. And I'm sure as y'all were filming, they were very triggering. So what did you do when you got home to decompress, to get away, step away from that? And also, which scene filming was the most triggering for you?
I just want to thank you. I'm sorry to hear about the stuff that imagine working in that system in the coalface of, some pretty intense people, and some people who've experienced great trauma is intense. I'm going to remove the word trigger for me, because it was never triggering. My job as an actor is to turn up and portray whatever I have to play that character, to tell the story. So I'm not triggered as such. And if I was going to be, I wouldn't do the job, because that's not good for my mental health. In terms of difficulty in sustaining a level of anxiety and or a level of grief or a level of despair becomes physically tiring and mentally tiring, for sure. But there were moments that I just felt that I had to be really respectful around, like, Bea trying to take her own life made me think about all the people in the world that have felt like that and gone through with it or not, and then it makes you reflect on your own world about, the peaks and troughs of life. So there were moments like that. I did, after season 3, go and see someone. I needed to decompress, but I think I was really exhausted. It wasn't that there were things that were actually making me feel triggered, as you put it. But remember that you're dealing with real life. Mine wasn't real life. I wasn't going, oh my God, they've got knives on set. I'm going, oh God, they fucking rubber plastic knife, I'm going to be stabbed by that, and have to pretend it hurts. And the prison system in this country is completely FUCKED. It's so, in most parts of the world, frankly, and especially when they've privatised the system. It's like, it's worth money for them to keep people inside. Fucked up. Hi.
Hey, Bea, how you doing?
Good, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing better now.
Great.
200 times. How dare you? I watched it at least 500 times. Okay. Anyway, my name is Dana. I'm from Oakland, California, but I'm living at LA lifestyle now. My question is, I had to come up with something new. So my question is, what do you think? Which role or which scene do you think? I'm sorry, I wrote it down. Give me a second. I was one of them high people that raised their hand.
Same. We're both on the same page. You can stand there all day just trying to ask me a question about,
What was the wildest thing you think Bea had to do to gain the respect of the women? Like either in the cell or outside of the cell.
Sorry, can you ask me that question again?
I got you.
I'm being cruel, aren't I? Can you ask me again?
What was the wildest scene you had to do in the show, that you think would gain the most respect from? Like, which scene do you think was the most craziest to where you got the most respect from it?
I wouldn't know about the respect. That's not for me to say. I've got no idea. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't know what scene I did that I got the most respect for. What are you saying, as Bea?
Yeah, as the character. Who do you like? Which one of those scenes do you think?
I think by the brawl that she did with Frankie. But that was part of her. That was part of her MO. That was the long game, wasn't it? She was like, I know I need to do this to be able to. But then, you know, what happens is she becomes top dog, which is not something that she expected. You know, that didn't serve the story. But I think that maybe, you know, by the time, I mean, you might go, wow. You know, the minute she says, "You don't run this prison, I do." Oh, sorry, you don't run this prison, I do. Should have been wearing these on that day, shouldn't I? They would have been seeing eye to eye. Hey, bitch, you don't run this prison, I do. But, you know, like, people loved that scene because we saw Bea being strong, but I think at that point she already felt like she'd won the respect. You know, she already had. You know, like, do you know what I hate about that scene? Oh my God, it gets me every time. Every frickin' time. Is that if you actually look at the scene of us all standing there in our teal with the beautifully curated bonfire, it looks like we're all about to have a nice little time on the beach with our bonfire. You know, it's like, you know, there's nothing worse than some things on television when you just go, that does not look real. Now, the one thing that gets me is that the grass is perfectly green. It looks like a piece of turf from outside Buckingham Palace. And there's wonderful growing roses. And I'm like, this does not look gritty and dirty. And like, you know, this should have grass where women have been walking up and down and the ground is all worn. It's just like, you look at it next time, you go, there's something wrong with the scene. I hate that. And I'm a stickler for detail. Like, it's incredibly important to me, and more so in all of my work as well. Like, it's those little things that really lift a character off the screen. You know, probably the actors that you enjoy the most are the ones that have attention to detail. It's those little things. Like when I dyed my hair red. Yeah, that was, I don't know if you know, but Wentworth was taken from a show called Prisoner. So it wasn't actually an original idea. Wentworth has had a previous life underneath the name Prisoner. And the lead character in that, Bea Smith, played by Val Lehman, used to have red hair, but naturally red hair. So she was a ginger. But in this one, we were like, well, let's do that, but just amp it up a bit. Let's contemporize it and you know, dye her hair. So that's how that came around. And that's another one of my favourite shots. Like, she's dyeing her hair and it's like... And I think someone did this meme where it's like, you can tell a woman by the way she wears her hair. Like, they did this kind of Pantene ad, but put that image to it, and it fits perfectly. And the one where getting out of the brawler and that wind machine is there, and it's like, where's my freaking, like, Garnier hair commercial? That's how I can make my money.
Of all the romances throughout the entire series, which one was your favorite?
Oh, I know immediately. Fletch and Vera. I really wanted them to be together. And I think they might have taken it off the screen. I don't know if they wrote it, but there was an initial one where he goes into the bathroom and he's jerking off in the bathroom. Oh, they did! Yeah, no, it was, they edited it, and I think they edited it out. Was it on there? Oh, yeah, no, and it was so sad. It was actually really sad because you go, they want, you know, he comes around to her house and you think they're going to go, and then he goes into the bathroom and he's standing there, he's just like, looking at the door, like, and you're like, just go out to her, don't do it in there. Just go out, she's out there, she's in your bed, come on. He's like, I just thought it was really complex, and I liked it that they were kind of, you know, showing something different here. You go, in that moment, we know that we're dealing with someone who's really feeling damaged and incredibly vulnerable and doesn't know how to express it other than, you know, going and doing that, even though he's got Vera right there.
He does it in the bed.
Oh, okay, so he does do that. And is she lying there going, oh my God. See, I just love that. I love that stuff. I thought it was, you know, that stuff was, you know, was interesting and curious. Okay. Are there no more questions? Oh, you've got other questions? I can see someone right at the back there. I'm sure. Are we allowed to do this? Surely. Go. Hit me, baby, one more time. Yeah, I ended up, there was a very strong push for Bea to become close with Will Smith, and I absolutely pushed against it. What's his name again? Will Jackson, sorry. There's a big Will Smith coming up and slapping me right now. Keep my name out of my fucking mouth. What happened to you, honey? Oh, I just got slapped by Will Smith. Will Jackson. But if he got married to Bea, she would have made him take her name and he would have been Will Smith. So, they were really, I think they were really pushing for Bea to get with Will Jackson. And I was just like, nah, I really don't want that to happen. I felt like the platonic relationship and that kind of care and concern they'd have for each other would have been way more interesting and sustainable if they actually just had this, there was a kind of a frisson with them, but they didn't actually act on it. And I'm really glad they didn't. You know, like it was just, that was one of the things I really fought for. And I think they were desperately trying to write us scenes where there'd be all this chemistry and I'd completely play against it. I'd be like, yeah, what do you want? Whereas it was like, Bea turns around and looks longingly into his eyes. I'd be like, yep, what do you want? And I think the writers were like, oh, fuck, she's not playing into our storyline. What a bitch. And then they killed me off. In the most delightful way. Look, that's the thing, people. If you want to keep a job as an actor, always make sure you say the writer's lines. Don't go against it, or else you end up being shanked 15 times by a 6-foot, beautiful, powerful woman. Have you met Pamela Rabe yet? Oh my God, you got something to look forward to. Oh, hi, honey.
I figured I'd jump up since nobody else was.
You can.
Yeah, I'm almost Pamela's height, so I'm gonna have to crank this up. But hi. I was wondering. Oh, also, you spoke about your attention to detail, and I just want to say, like, thank you for clearly putting so much time and effort into your craft, because it does show. The attention to detail does show on screen. But besides that, I was also wondering. You also spoke about being the one to recommend that Will doesn't carry. Who does he save out of the fire? I can't remember. But it was written that Will was going to be the one to carry
Frankie.
Yes, and then you said, so you've spoken multiple times about things that you've pushed against. Is there any other like storylines that you really rallied against or for that we don't know about yet? Besides the ones you just mentioned?
Oh yeah, I was just talking at my round table actually. I'll bring it up again. Where's my round table crew? They're all totally high now. Yeah, we just passed the Dutchie around that little round table. I don't know what your other ones are like. Mine's way cool, man. We couldn't even speak, we're so fucking high. No. The moment where Braden smirks before Bea shoots him, I was really against that. I wanted him not to smirk, and she still fucking shoots him anyway. Like, I think it's nice to see the provocation, and I think it serves, like, for everyone going, yeah, man, get him, he's an evil guy. But I like the idea that he didn't even need to do that she still chose to get rid of him. That, you know, at the end, he's just a kid who's been manipulated by his mum. And I liked it that it made Bea kind of a baddie. And that was interesting to me. But it was she got let off the hook because he did smirk. But we shot it both ways and they decided to go with that way. But I really was interested to see what would happen if he didn't smirk. And it's sort of ambiguous, and she thinks he does, and he does he not? And I think it says something about her character that she's, and that's the moment that she jumps over the line and we see her being a bad bitch. And you go, no, don't mess with her because, that she will, she could turn on you.
She always had her vengeance. That's probably my favorite thing about the character, is that no matter how long it took, Bea was always going to get her vengeance. Like, she didn't let things
Well, she
go.
did, but then she did it to the person that she really should have in the end, which was Ferguson. I would have loved to have gotten rid of that. I'm going to stab you. I wouldn't be able to reach up and I'm going to stab her on the ankles. can't reach any vital organs, so I'll just have to go for the ankles. And she'd be like, "Something any mozzie bites, get off it, don't stop, go." Okay, what else? Okay, hi, I'll just do it down here because your arm went up first. I think it was your arm. Who knows these days?
Hey, I'm Alicia. How long have you been writing? What was sort of your process in beginning to do that?
Okay, so I don't usually do a lot of writing, but I'm really good at script consulting. Yeah, so in regards to, if you don't know, I've got a company with Nicole De Silva. This is where I'm about to spruik our work. And so we've been working, our company was formed about 4 or 5 years ago, and we've been slowly chipping away at scripts and getting them out there into the world and, collaboratively working with other people. So we've got a film that's being made at the end of this year. That was based on a play that we put on at Belvoir. Who came to see Who's Afraid? Hi, Tammy. Hi, Dylan. Hi. Yeah. So we've got this play that's going to be produced at the end of this year. Hopefully, we've been picked up by a very big production company in Australia to make the film, and so I created that story with another writer. With a writer called Sarah Walker, who's a good friend of mine as well. And yes, who saw us in New Jersey? Yeah, great. So she's the bitch who killed me off. Wentworth, that is. So I do a lot of script consulting and creating stories and so forth. So I don't really like writing so much, but I'm really good at conceptual ideas and generating story in the writer's room. But I'm just about to direct a short film that I didn't write, but I've produced. Nick's producing it, but I'm directing it. And Nicole and I will be co-directing our film. So we're going to be directing each other. I'm going to be like, "You were shit house." But Danielle, you were amazing.
I have one last question, Danielle.
One last question? Oh, hello, we've got a microphone. I'll come back to you.
I hear that Robbie Will Jackson's always a prankster on the set, so I wanted to see if you could share a funny story that he did to you guys. I've seen some of the pranks that he plays on you guys.
There were a few. I think, after a while, everyone was pranking everyone. It just was like, you just couldn't watch your back. It was like you had to watch your back. You never knew what was going to happen next. But Robbie and I actually shot these videos where you'd jump out from behind a corner and smash someone in the face with a pillow. And we edited together this series and totally freaked people out. I've got is that you waving to me? Yeah. This is how many drinks you're going to have later on, Danielle. That was. I don't know what happened to that video. I think I'm terrible at losing phones. I just lose them all the time. I'm sure there's probably about 15, 20 people around the world that are going, "Holy shit, who is this one?" They found my phone. They're like, "Oh." So I don't know where that's gone. That video, but there was one where. I think I've told this story before and it's long-winded, so I'll try and truncate it, but our second assistant director used to have his desk right by our green room, and Robbie had put his phone on the desk, and Robbie said to me, "Hey, I've changed your name in my phone," so Robbie put under my name, instead of Danielle Cormack, he put Sock Guy. And we sent photographs to that phone of really full-on hot males with socks on their cocks, and with messages saying, "Such a great night last night, Robbie. I really enjoyed hanging out with you." And as they were binging up on the phone, Mark, our second AD, we were watching from another room, he was like, and then another message would come up, he'd be like, absolutely in hysterics. And then Robbie came out going, "Oh, Mark, have you seen my phone anywhere?" And Mark was like, completely infantile humour, but right up my straza. Okay, hi LA. Yes, you.
Why did you guys
I don't know, I wasn't part of it then. I was dead. I was in the ground with my eyeballs being eaten out by worms, growing flowers, you know, thinking, how come I couldn't get out of this box and the freak could? You know, that's what they should teach you at school, right? How to dig your way out of a coffin under the ground. Not trigonometry. No, I didn't have any say in that, and you know, like after I left the show, I didn't really have much to do with it apart from my relationships and friendships I made. But I'd sort of keep up with some of the storylines. I'd be like, and then what? She fucking lives? No, she died. She's in the show. But I didn't really keep up with it, so I don't really know what happened. I did, however, watch the last episode. And I was like, she's in a wheelchair now? I was like, you know, like, what is going on here? And like I said before, like, man, Ali could do some really cool shit in that wheelchair.
You didn't watch the whole thing? You acted in
No. Why? Because I knew the storyline, first of all. Like, I knew what was going to happen. I can't stand watching things when I know what's going to happen. I'm like, well, there's no point. And secondly, I was in the show. I wasn't a fan of the show. I've got other things I prefer to watch. You know, like, when you work on a show, I know exactly what's behind that brick wall. I know exactly, you know, it's like, oh, those actors would have gone and put their costumes on and gone into makeup. It's like, it's ruined the magic for me. You know, like, I just, it's not really my jam. Sorry, it's not. I thought Wentworth was okay. I like watching reality TV shows. Give me Next in Fashion. Man, that show bangs. I'd watch that 20 times.
It's really good though.
What, Wentworth? Yeah, apparently. Haven't seen it, mate. Hi, gorgeous.
If Debbie wouldn't have come into the garage, would Bea have gotten away with Harry's murder?
I don't know. Maybe. Yes. I did say yes. And then you guys wouldn't be able to have a show to watch. Because she wouldn't have gone to prison. She'd still be there at the hairdressing salon. Snip, snip, snip. Snippity, snip, snip. Die, die, die. Hair, that is. You know, so they wouldn't have had a show. Oh well. They keep raising their finger to me like that. I'm like, what's going on?
Did you stop wearing teal after the show?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't fucking stand that colour. Look at me. Do you see an ounce of teal on me? Anywhere. And it used to be my favourite colour. Seriously, it looks really good on me. She's a stern bitch. What a stern bitch. So photoshopped. Oh my god. Oh my god, photoshopped. It's like, you know, they've been visiting the Botox and filler clinic in Wentworth. It's like, what are you having today? Oh, can I have 15 units of Botox and do my lips? I have the Kendall Jenner package, thanks. Hi. Ali. Oh yeah, now that's complex. Death by heart attack. Like death by cunnilingus. Oh, what a way to go! Death by love. Death by, you know, like, yeah. I don't know, what do you think? I've got to go now. And it's like, they've really sent in the big guns now. They sent Trevor in. So before it was like Kiana, I'm like, yeah. And then I had Manny, I'm like, yeah. Now Trevor's there, I'm like, oh fuck, I really have to go. I want to say thank you so much for coming out. I'll see you, Simon. Thank you. Give it up. Be real, thank you. Be safe, be kind to each other. Meet new
You don't scare me.
Likewise. You have an informer in your ranks. I will annihilate you.
You must be ruthless.
I see the fear in their eyes. Freak. I know they're scared of me.
You don't run this prison.
I didn't ask, but
I
I'll
do.
take it.
You don't run this prison. I do.
What I want is to be good enough!
Let them stare at me.
You truly are a cunt.
I don't need to, but I'll show them.
You fucked the wrong lunatic. Vera a bit too vanilla for you, Jack? You've licked your last pussy. You can try to appeal to the people, or you can terrify them.
Fuck you for Bea.
You stabbed me to death!
I understand exactly what you are. Do you really think you can escape the consequences of your actions?
What is your end game, you crazy fucking lunatic?
A child needs a mother.
Do you feel the love?
Did I hear someone calling freak? That's not very nice. Right, now I'm here to calm everybody down.
So we have some fans set up for you on the right and on the left. They have been waiting for this all day long to ask you questions.
This is, seriously, this is kind of do my best ASMR. We're all gonna breathe, and I promise you'll all be asleep within 15 minutes. Okay, here we go.
You two have a very tranquil voice.
I'm a very tranquil person.
It's funny that you play the character that you play in the show. So, question for you that I think they are probably all asking here is when Wentworth ended, right? And you were kind of out in the woods. And I kind of equated...
Under the ground, yes.
Yeah. Oh, is that where you were this time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I equated you to Jason. Did you ever see Halloween?
Oh,
Oh, there you go. I knew you guys would correct me. Where do you think she went after that?
Are you talking about, no, you're talking about the very end.
The very end.
Off into the mists.
Oh, yeah.
Where did she go? Where did she go? Well, where did she go? She like a bad smell. No, she will, but she'll never die. No, I don't know, but I'm not sure. I mean, that's what's wonderful about an ending like that. It's up to your imagination about whether or not whatever it is has been kind of exorcised in her, and she's going to go off and have a nice placid life somewhere, doing ASMR for local public radio, or whether she's going to go wreak havoc from now on, just in some different neck of the woods. Yeah. I think either is possible. You know, she's got so much capacity for You know, I don't think she would ever lie down and roll over, but you know, she might be working in a library somewhere, thinking, you know, or perhaps in a lab.
Mad scientist.
I'm never going to go to the library again and look at a librarian the same way. One more question that I have, and then I'm leaving it to the fans, is do you own any goldfish?
Well, no, I mean, I don't restrict it just to goldfish. I eat all kinds of fish, but I do prefer it raw.
Now to more important people. All right, we've got fans over here, we've got fans to the right. I'm gonna back and forth, so.
Hello, you all. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so sorry that you guys have to be standing, you know, but anyway.
They're happy to do it, believe me.
Happy to do it? Okay, right.
All right, so we're gonna come to this side first. Let us know your name and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Mark. I'm from Fresno, California, or Clovis, California.
Mark, did you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Mark, you're so dark there, I can't see your lips move, so just work your consonants. Thank you.
And if you don't, dot, dot, dot.
Is it working?
It's working on.
Mic check. Okay, so my question to you is, in one of the scenes you arrived at Vera's house very unexpectedly to help her cook dinner. And
A little louder.
Her mom, Vera's mom, was kind of having a nasty
I
fit.
think I know where this is going, yes?
Yeah, and you know, I wanted to ask you, when Vera's mom was not doing well in bed,
Yes.
what was it you whispered to her?
Oh, what a good question.
We're dying to know.
It's funny you should ask that, Mark, because I've never been asked that question before. And this is the honest truth, and I mean, I know that some of you may have theories again about what she said. The reality is, the way television is filmed, you know, even though it's very quick and you often have one take each time, particularly on a show like Wentworth, where we're just churning that out as quickly as we can, trying to do the best job we can. And if generally speaking, if it's technically good, they move on to the next shot. So there's not a lot of indulgence, but even so, a scene will be shot from lots of different angles. You do what they call a master, where it captures all the action, and then it'll start come in, and it'll do singles or a two-shot, and then a couple of little close-up of elements if they've got time, which means that I shot that scene, or I repeated that scene, you know, a number of times, and each time I said something different into Lynette Curran's ear. So the God's truth is, I don't know actually what it was that I said, but there were different things every time, and the objective was always to rattle Vera's mother out of her, you know, state that she was in, of just sort of evil old cowness against my dear friend Vera Bennett. So it was a variety of things. I don't know, I couldn't begin to tell you what it was. There were a whole range of things that I did say. Wicked little things.
Great question. Fantastic. All right, we're coming back over to this side.
Hi, Pam. My name is Kelly, and I am from Nashville, Tennessee.
Kelly?
Yes.
Hi, Kelly from Nashville, Tennessee.
I am a theater director, and so I am extremely intrigued by the hand gestures and the things that you did to make the character more realistic. And what I want to know, were those things written in the script, like the banging on the forehead and the straightening of the, you know, business cards on the desk, and the, when you pulled your hand back from Vera, the, you know, wiping off your hand back with your other fingers and things like that. Were those in the script, or did you improv those?
No, there's very little. In fact, it's kind of a given, particularly with screenwriting and playwriting too, that generally speaking, the better the writers, the less they write any of that stuff. But I would say the seeds for all that were in the script. They'd written into the first scripts that I read that she, I think, was a bit of a germaphobe, and that she was had elements of obsessive compulsive disorder. And I could tell from the way they'd written it, but that she was such a kind of protective and masked person, wanting to maintain an air of authority and mystery, that there would be a lot of repression, a lot of tension, and out of that, little things erupted, and little things like those specific gestures were just a response to, you know, reading a script and thinking, wow, what does that feel like? And before you know it, I have to say, and I've just been in a little round table with a few people where we were talking about that, I myself have just a little element of some of those things. And Paris McKenna-Smith, who's the wonderful props master on the show, there would be such detail in all our settings, and then in my desk when I was the governor, Joan was always the governor and still is. when she was the governor, I mean, my drawers would be full of all sorts of interesting objects, so I could open the drawer and go, oh, I think I'll play with that today, you know. So, but also in there were kind of microfiber dusting cloths and things like that. And I myself, between takes, would always get the microfiber cloth out and clean the desk off to make sure that, and before you know it, that sort of gets incorporated in the storytelling.
Cool. The question is, are you still doing some of those things?
I am still wiping surfaces with microfiber. And even more so in present times. I have to say that one of the things I was so excited about was that when COVID arrived, there were two things that I souvenired. Back when I got buried alive in a box, and I assumed that was the end of Joan Ferguson's days on Wentworth, I thought I'll just take a couple of souvenirs to remind myself of this extraordinary experience. And one of them was a bottle of Joan Ferguson's hand sanitizer, which I put in the cupboard and thought, oh, it's nice. I can open the cupboard, look at that, and have some fond memories. And then when COVID hit, I went, thank Christ for that, I've got hand sanitizer. Opened the cupboard and it was 3 years out of date.
So now, did you think that you were done for the show when they put you in the ground?
Absolutely. I'd assumed that was the end of Joan, yes.
I think we all did. So what happened? How did you find out that you were returning?
Well, I have to say that Marcia Gardner, who was the head of the script department, was always adamant that she didn't feel Joan Ferguson's story was over, but, you know, you take that with a grain of salt. And so I just presumed that was it. But when I did get a phone call somewhere around the whole series, I'm sure you all know this because, you know, you're here because you're here and you have an investment in this series to some extent. And at the end of season 7, the word was the series was coming to a close. And then there was such an outcry from I don't know who that they decided that they gave the go-ahead for another 20 episodes. And that's when I got a phone call saying, how would you feel about coming out of the box? And
is that how they actually said it? Did they actually say, how would you feel about coming out of the box?
Somebody did, somewhere along there.
That's fantastic.
We had lots of conversations about how to make that credible for the audience, but also for me, because I knew I would have to, you know, that's a tricky ask. Particularly in a series, it's not meant to be utterly kind of fantasy or sci-fi, or, you know, you have to ground it. I think one of the great strengths of Wentworth is that the stories are grounded in real life and death stakes and true kind of pain and joy and struggle. And I wanted to make sure it was something I could sort of inhabit and believe in. You know, it was just jumping the shark, as they say. So there were a lot of conversations around that, and although I knew it was going to be bloody challenging, it looked like it was going to be interesting, so I said, okay, I'll come out of that box.
I'm glad you can check the box on being buried alive. You know, because
my great dream was to be able to, in fact we talked about this, is that I wanted to come out of the box with white hair. I wanted to that she'd gone through such a traumatic shock that her hair had turned white. And it didn't quite work, but we ended up with a kind of compromise, and I ended up with that kind of sort of silver ghost-like thing.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. All right, we're coming right back over here.
Hi, my name is Ivona from New York City. Hi, Pam.
Hi.
I have a two-parter question. We know that Joan Ferguson enjoys her classical music. What kind of music does Pamela Rabe enjoy? And do you use music at all to connect with characters or to get in the right headspace for a scene?
Yeah, I do a lot, actually, yes. And I like all sorts of music, everything. I do love classical music a lot. In fact, in some of the early scripts, there would be music script written into the script to be playing against a particular scene. And sometimes I would say, well, there's a specific one actually. I don't know if you remember, there was a sequence where Joan had to go to the dentist. And then Juicy Lucy had to go to the dentist. And in the scripts, these episodes started with Joan being at the dentist and supposedly some kind of, you know, I don't know what it was, hip hop, something was playing on the, some local kind of, you know, Top of the Pops kind of thing was playing on the radio, or a bit of headbanger or something, I can't remember what it was. And then I think that was meant to be repeated when, or maybe it wasn't even in the script for when Juicy Lucy came to visit and Joan was there offering her dental services. And I said, wouldn't it be great though if it was actually a classical piece, something of sublime beauty, preferably women singing. And I mean, that's not me coming from out of the blue. Earlier episodes and earlier seasons, you know, Joan listened to classical music and she fenced to classical music, so that had all been established as a kind of trope within the series. But yes, classical music was very important to her, and actually I think that then gave birth to other sequences which had classical music. Classical music is important to me too, but I do kind of love everything. You know, everything. Hip hop, whatever, and I also love a lot of early jazz too.
I think they're in with that one. Thank you. All right, we're coming over to you. Speaking of young, you know, fans, we got one right here.
My name's Carly, and I'm from Ohio, and I would like to know what your favorite scene was.
Carly, how old are you?
11.
How old?
11.
And when did you start watching?
8.
8? You're lying, you're 72 years old. You're wearing a wig.
She's lying. She's lying. I'm her mom.
Ask me the question again, please, Carly. I want to hear your voice again.
What was your favorite scene?
What was my favorite scene? What was your favorite scene? Okay. I don't have to be in it. What was your favorite scene? Probably my favorite scene, I wasn't in either.
That's a hard question because I
It is, you see, and you've asked it to me. Now you see how hard it is. I would say the favorite scene that I wasn't in was probably oh God, there were so many. When I watched the first season, before I even knew I was going to, well, maybe I did know I was going to be in it by then. I'm just trying to think whether it had gone to air.
Was this when you had amnesia? Is this what that's what this is right
here? My name is Kaz Proctor. I remember watching the very first season, and there was a beautiful scene between Celia Ireland and Sharina Clanton, where Doreen and what's her name? Even Joan Ferguson got it, you know. Or Kath Maxwell did. There was a scene just where the two of them kind of sat just side by side, comforting each other. Where I thought, oh, this is so beautiful about extraordinary circumstances in that prison, where people, how hard it is to find a connection and a sense of family. So that was quite important to me, and I thought this is a special series. My favorite scene that I did, that I was involved in, would be there actually are so many. I often go back to the very first scene that I shot with Kate Atkinson when Joan Ferguson asked Vera Bennett to her office for a drink. Partly because it was the first kind of, I'd done a few little bits and pieces and felt quite self-conscious and whatever, and then suddenly, at the end of the day, they were thinking they might have to drop the scene, but it was quite an important scene, so we went, oh, no, please, let's do it, cross-shoot it, which everyone hates doing because the lighting has to be dull, but actors love it because you can really respond. Cross-shooting is where they put two cameras over the actor's shoulders and they can shoot you just responding to each other, rather than doing individual singles where somebody's off camera and then cutting it all together. This way, in a way the actors can kind of control what happens. And it was the first real scene that Kate Atkinson and I did, and it was such a joy to go, oh wow, I love playing with you. And that kind of led to a whole, and she's now a very dear friend, and 8 years later, you know, Vera and Joan have been through so much together, but that was quite special. And then there were other scenes that I loved. I loved punching everybody up in the yard. That was great, because I mean, at the time I would have been, I don't know, I'm just about to turn 64, but I would have been about, I don't know, how many years ago, maybe 58, 59 or something. How many times has somebody, you know, irregardless of male, female, or otherwise, ask you at that age to get out there and just beat the shit out of people? It was so much fun. Sorry, Carly, I didn't say it. Sorry for the bad word.
You're fine. You should hear my mother.
Oh. What did she just say? I missed it. Did you say you hear worse at home?
Yes.
Mom, wave your hands. Say hi to everyone. Yeah.
What kind of a shit mother are you?
You should meet her brother.
Thank you.
Love you, Carly. Love your mom.
Oh my God. I hate that you have to go right after that question, but I hope you got something good for her.
I hope I do too. My name is Deb. I'm from Ohio, like Carly over there.
Hi, Gab.
Hi.
Lovely consonants. Thank you very much.
It is my first WentworthCon. I came specifically because of you, because I love you so much, and you're amazing.
Thank you.
So, hand for you. The woman before me actually asked the question I was going to ask about music, so I have something else.
Okay.
My question is, there are a couple of episodes. One was Goldfish, specifically, one of my favorites. And another one's called One Eye Open, where they have kind of elements of horror. So, like when you come out of the freezer, you're doing this like thing like from The Ring, right?
That's my ringum.
Was it your right? So I guess my question is, are you a fan of that genre? And if so, what's your favorite horror film?
Yeah, good question.
That is a good. I've never been asked that before. That's great. Yes, I'm a fan of films. Full stop. I have to say, I'm a huge movie fanatic, and old films as well. Favorite. I'm loving Jordan Peele at the moment. I have to say.
Yes.
I do love psychological horror, rather than I'm not so great with the chainsaws and things.
Yes.
But I love. To be honest, my absolute favorite horror film is still probably The Haunting.
Yes.
The original.
Fantastic.
1963 or whatever it was. Have you seen it? Julie Harris, Claire Bloom.
Amazing.
Extraordinary film. I don't think there's even a drop of blood, but that's particularly, if anybody's seen it, you'll be a little nervous about, it's black and white, but sort of, you know, I don't know, looking at wallpaper ever again, and those doors that breathe and things like that. It's just the kind of psychological space of that kind of horror. It's just fabulous.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. All right, so that note there, have a backup question, because sometimes they're even better than the first question. All right, right back over here.
Hi Pam, my name is Megan and I'm from Modesto, California. This is also my first WentworthCon, so I'm just in awe to be here in front of you. My question is, you know, there's a lot of serious moments that we see on the show, but I just was wondering, do you have a favorite or memorable blooper that you'd like to share with us?
Oh, so many. Hello, Megan. Welcome to the world of WentworthCon.
Thank you.
Just a kind of, you know, to whatever you say, to give a kind of disclaimer to whatever, there is no such thing as a favorite blooper, because when you make a blooper, you're fucking up. Sorry, Carly. And it's so frustrating because you're trying to do the best, and probably the one that really frustrated me the most was when there was a particular point when Joan was still governor where she was meant to be getting quite frustrated with the behavior of people around her who should have been behaving better. And she picked up her pencils and threw them against the glass window. And I, you know, as before the cameras are rolling, I went, oh, well, like this, and perfect. It was just perfect. It was this huge spray of, 50 pencils that all went, in a beautiful starburst thing, just on the side of the glass with the cameras. Could I repeat it? No. We did, suddenly when the cameras were rolling, I did 25 takes, and that it turned into a kind of a sequence on a blooper reel of me just going, oh. Where you think it's just time to hand in your equity code. That was the most frustrating, yes. Some of my favourite ones that in some jobs that I've done, particularly when you're doing a feature film, there's a little bit more time sometimes to work up elaborate pranks that are going to end up on a kind of blooper reel at the end just for the entertainment of your in-house cast and crew. We didn't have a lot of time for this, but someone early on, Paris McKenna Smith, who I mentioned earlier, who was the props master, who's a huge Star Wars tragic, and has in his props van also all this Star Wars gear, and he had, the lightsaber and a whole bunch of other things as well. And there was one day when Kate and I got dressed up as, stormtroopers, and that was kind of fun. Yeah.
Thank you. Was there anyone on the set that actually pulled pranks behind the scenes? Not on the scene.
I'm not going to mention names, Robbie Magazine. No, I mean, you actually, the reality is that you do have to, you're working fast and hard and you're taking your job very seriously, but always the kind of tougher the subject matter, the more important it is that you release a little bit. And so there were a lot of laughter and joy that happened outside of the work, and Robbie was the master of ceremonies for all of that. He was so wonderful at every birthday, everything, the things that would happen at lunchtimes, that Robbie would, do elaborate gestures for people. I can remember that Kath Chambers, our director of photography, just loved eating out in restaurants, particularly French food, and Robbie organised this whole elaborate thing where he set up a tablecloth for her and dressed up as a French waiter and sang her La Vie en Rose and everything. It was just beautiful. He had a slightly unsettling, penchant for getting dressed up as women all the time, but Robbie just kind of liked that. He did a great Dolly Parton.
He was working on the right show for it, right? I mean, seriously. All right, we're coming right back over here. Your name and where you're from.
Hi, my name's Melissa and I'm from Maine.
Hello, Melissa.
I too came all the way out here just to meet you.
Funny, so live. Hi, Melissa.
Hi. I have a comment and a question. My comment is to you, you are just an amazing actress that I've ever seen, ever. My question is to you, did you have to audition for Joan Ferguson? And if so, what part of the audition did you have to audition for? What part?
As in role, or what part of the story? Or?
What part of the story?
The answer is yes, because you always do. It's a very rare situation where you get offered something on screen without doing a screen test. Mostly just because it's a power trip for producers, and but also the reality is that there's just the nature of how expensive filmmaking is. I mean, I rarely get asked to audition for anything on stage because they're much smaller deals, and people know you from your work, and they know you either from working with you or seeing your work, and you tend to get roles that way. But on screen, there are so many people who have an investment in and a stake in what's being made. Not just the director and the producer and the whatever, but there'll be the network and then the people who are putting money in and the sponsors, and that a lot of people want to have a look at it, and it's just a given. So you always have to do a screen test. I did a screen test in Sydney in a very dark office of a place called Mulliners, which I don't even think exists anymore. And they asked me to do the scene where Joan Ferguson It's the first scene in episode 1 of season 2 where she comes in and does a kind of dressing down of her staff, including the speech that began with, about being in a correctional facility and stuff like that. Yeah. I think that was it. They also might have made me do a little bit of that scene with Vera Bennett, giving her a drink, I think. Can't remember really.
Any way you could do a little part of the yard?
Who's next?
All right, we're gonna go over right on this side.
Hello.
Hi there. I'm Adam from Tucson, Arizona.
Hello, Adam from Tucson, Arizona.
Hello there. I wanted to ask, so I've done some audiobooks and things like that, and I was wondering, every day for yourself, getting into a character that's so contrary to your own, did you have any words you had to tell yourself, or any kind of phrases to kind of trigger yourself to feel, to kind of meld into Joan Ferguson each time you came on set to bring yourself to it? Or did you have kind of a ritual or anything like that? And did you draw any inspiration or talk with, Maggie Kirkpatrickson? Her name just slipped off.
Kirkpatrick, yeah. Maggie Kirkpatrick, who created the role of Joan Ferguson in the original Prisoner series, or Prisoner Cell Block H, as it was known in the UK. I knew Maggie, I know Maggie, and have worked with Maggie on stage a number of times. Do you want to get that? Put it on speaker, please, so we can all hear. To answer that question, no, I didn't speak to Maggie, although I did phone her up and just say, how are you feeling about this and this, and because she's a friend. And she was, is, and continues to be incredibly supportive, both of me and the series. That's great. She's a wonderful woman. In terms of prepping for, the only thing I would say is that, I'm giving too much. You say a character who's so different from me. Unfortunately, she's not as different from me as one would hope.
Remind me not to go back into the green room again.
That's right. And if you see me in the street, just cross over the other side. Because you never know what I might do. No, but all I mean is that once you know kind of what your job is for the day, you're focused on that, and it's sort of other little things that I would do that are part of a kind of a natural thing with every job that I would do, is that I always like to have just a little spot where I can sit, and see, and it's just instinctive now. You sort of find a place to put all your junk. It's your place, just to carve out a little place to just be still. For a long time, Candy Crush was part of that strange world. Dan does tell that story about how she thought that, they were all a bit scared of me, I have to say, when I first arrived. Even though I did say on my very first day in rehearsal when I first arrived, I said, I knew some of them from having worked with them, or knew them from socially being actors together, some who I'd just seen. But I introduced myself and apologized right off the get-go to say I want to apologize for what my character may and probably will do to your character throughout the course of the series, but it's nothing personal. But they were all a little bit scared of me, and also because I came from the world of the theatre, which is always a bit kind of pretentious and poncy, and so they always thought I was taking things very seriously, as I would be sitting in a little chair, my chair with my junk, and looking at my script, thinking, there she is swatting away. She's such a swat. Swat, does that mean anything? Studying your lines. And then she came over to me and realized I was playing Candy Crush. And that was actually part of the process, because often the character was doing really terrible things or having terrible things done to them in a terrible world, and there was something kind of just zoning and centering about something like that. I gave up. I gave up on the Candy Crush. I moved on to Boggle, but probably music was a big part of that. Was having and sometimes putting some earbuds in and just listening to music and concentrating on the job at hand. Does that answer your question?
It does.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Your performance was legendary. Villains really drive the story, and I feel like you really left your mark.
Absolutely. All right, we're gonna go over here, and also, just before I go over here, one question. What was it like for your character in the scene, and how did they create that moment where you were getting hung in the prison yard?
How did they create it, or what
What was the choreography for that? Was that, in terms of how did they rig it? Rig you? Were you even in it? Did they swap you out?
No, never swapped out, and but that's just the way that has to happen. And also, I mean, I have gone on record to say in the past that it was one of the most extraordinary. Actually, Kylie, to answer your question about favourite scenes, that was actually one of them, because it was a time. I mean, I always had such extraordinary admiration for the crews and the extras, or I think. What do they call them now? Background artists or
background actors.
Background actors. On that series, some of who'd been there from the absolute get-go were there to the bitter end of those all 100 episodes of Wentworth. And all of the fellow cast members, because that was a really, really hard, intensive day and a half of shooting. And everybody's at the top of their game, and just knowing that you could just absolutely rely on everybody to give their absolute best and focus. It was incredibly moving. I had been kind of coached up by our fight coordinator, Zev, whose last name I can never pronounce because it's a wonderful multi-syllabic Greek name. And I won't even attempt it, because I get it wrong. Zev. And Zev had, I was harnessed up, and there was discussion about sort of what safety was, what the backups were. One of the hazards of being on a single pivot, as any noose would be, is that it's got a lot of natural torsion in it, which means I was spinning a lot. So there was a couple of people that were nominated to, if I span, is that the right word?
Spun.
If I spun? Is that how you say it in America? If I spun too much. If I was spinning.
And that's just what we sound like.
If I was spinning too much, that somebody would step in and sort of stop or twist back or whatever, like while I was in the middle of the acting of it. But the reality is that when you're in the middle of it, then, maybe spinning is interesting. So they would start to get a little bit hesitant to get in there and stop me, and then I'd be the one in the middle of it kind of going. But then at that point I didn't know what was my best side. So you just have to kind of go with it. But it was pretty full on, and we had to do it many, many times. But it was really emotional for all sorts of reasons, not only what physically you were being put through, but as I said, this incredible focus where you suddenly feel, and it's having not many opportunities where I can sort of be amongst a group of 200 people, whatever, all doing their best in each of their individual ways. It was a very humbling and moving experience. Yeah.
And I'm from
How old are you? Did you say Debbie?
Yes.
And how old are you, Debbie?
13.
13. Oh, well, you're an old hand. That's good. You're a teenager. That's okay. Yeah.
And my question is, what's your favorite Joan Ferguson line?
Ooh.
My favorite Joan Ferguson line, I don't think any of them I could probably say to you legally at this point.
I think she's seen the show.
Have you seen the whole show, Debbie?
Yes.
Where's her mom? Proudly waving her hand.
Your dental expertise there.
Yeah, I know. We've got a room full of shit parents, I can just tell you. But you're raising children with impeccable taste. That's great. Debbie, my favorite Joan, gosh.
Cover your ears, but not really.
Well, a few people are wearing them on their t-shirts today, so
How about this? We will say it with you.
tell you, well, I have a couple, and I have to say that almost every time, I love this. We were only given the scripts. We'd be shooting sort of 2 episodes at a time. That's called a block. And we would shoot a block, and then halfway through that block, there'd be a mad scramble of a day when the scripts for the next block would be released. And, people, if you had time, you'd be quickly having a look at it. But often, the first time you were actually getting a look at it was when you would sit around the table and have a read through about 1 week out of shooting it. And there were always such a thrill. But I would always wait with such excitement for when those scripts were out to see what line they'd given Joan Ferguson for this one. Some of them they were the ones you least expected, or ones that, like, I wonder if somebody actually wrote the first time Joan said, huh. I think they actually wrote that she laughed at somebody, or derisively laughed, or something like that, and I went, well, how would Joan Ferguson laugh? Well, she'd be too tight to actually just let a little, so it would just be a little bit of air with a kind of sardonic, and out of that came this little, huh. And those were fun, but I kind of loved You Licked Your Last, and but the line that probably is my favorite, which is You Fucked the Wrong Lunatic. Wasn't in the script when we.
Wasn't in the script?
It wasn't in the script until at the very last moment. In the writer's room, there was a writer's attachment, Libby Chellu, who's extraordinarily quiet, quite prim, and never would say very much, but she'd be there kind of collating material and, doing copies of amendments and things like that. And she was the one who came up with that line.
It's always the quiet ones you have to watch out for.
It's always the quiet ones you have to watch out for. But it's also, it again speaks to that point that you were making, is that everybody was so kind of hooked into this, wanting to make it the best and make it better, and you could just see Libby had just been, right, that's the line. It's a joy.
Don't say that in school this week. All right. Thank you. All right, back over to this side.
Hello, Pamela. How are you doing?
Wow, that's a deep voice.
Oh, hello, sexy.
My name is Patrick from Las Vegas.
Patrick from Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
So in your performance, you command a lot of respect. You're very powerful, very imposing. It's an excellent performance. So I was curious.
Thank you,
Right back at you. So, were there previous performances, whether on stage, for you personally, that you did, or that you observed that strongly influenced the initial character?
That's so deep.
Thank you, Patrick. Influence that character. I'm sure many, many, many things. Consciously, there were a couple because, and I apologize because I've said this before in public forums if you've heard this before, but Maggie Kirkpatrick for a start. Not that I watched The Old Prisoner, but I knew Maggie, so that just by definition was going to have an influence on me. And the vision of watching or seeing Maggie put on black gloves. When I arrived on my first day in pre-production for the second season, when you arrive and there's a discussion with the script department about the character and what they call the arc of the character, none of which I remember, I was so excited and nervous. But then you go into the makeup department where they're going to make some decisions about the way the character's going to look, and you have costume fittings. And I remember sitting down with Troy Fothington and Tess Natoli, who themselves were beginning, that was their first season as well, they had done the first season in the makeup department, about the way Joan Ferguson would look. And I suddenly had a flash that I wanted her to look like what you say, you can never trust the quiet ones. I wanted that kind of completely contained, unflappable thing. And the first influence for me was that I can remember driving up the Bruce Highway, was it the Sturt Highway, in Central Australia, going up from Adelaide up to Alice Springs, Ayers Rock, which is, you would appreciate this, being in Vegas, a highway that goes without bend for almost 1,000 kilometers, whatever it is.
It's beautiful.
And everything shimmers as a mirage. And I can remember the first time I did that drive, in the distance, there was something, and I couldn't make out what it was. And as I got closer and closer, I could see it was the carcass of a dead animal on the side of the road. And on this animal was the hugest wedge-tailed eagle I'd ever seen. And a lot of other smaller birds of prey around it. And as our car, it's still probably a couple of miles away, but as it got closer and closer, and it could, obviously the bitumen was starting to kind of rumble a bit, all the other birds disappeared, flapped off, but this one wedge-tail just stayed, and just stayed. And the car whizzed back, because there's no speed limit when you hit the Northern Territory border, so we would have been going 140 k's, I don't know what it is, like 100 miles, 110 miles, really fast, and it just was there, it just was there. And I had this vision of maybe just the wind of the backwash of a car just fluttering its feathers a little bit, and it not moving, and it went back to eat its prey. And I thought that's exactly what I want, that absolute kind of stillness, and under any circumstance. And the human version of that was that there's an Akira Kurosawa film called Throne of Blood, which is about the story of Macbeth. And there's a couple of images in that of the witches and Lady Macbeth in that, which are so chilling in their innocuous, gentle, scented stillness. So those were big influences. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Great question. I really can't tell whose voice I like more. It's either yours or his, but
That's
it's
right.
like, it's a very even split.
We will be releasing a podcast soon. Patrick and Pamela, straight to you from Vegas.
We have one last question right over here on this side.
Hi Pamela, my name is Katie. I'm from Canada, Montreal.
Hello, bonjour Katie. Comment ça va?
I don't actually really speak French.
Neither do I. And I grew up in Canada. We had all my French, to be honest, that's the deepest I've ever said anything in French, because you're taught, French in Canada from, all through your primary and secondary school. And the way they taught us in primary school was by watching a little show called Chez Hélène. Somebody remembers it? Yeah. And that stupid little mouse, Susie. And so, for the first time, you're being introduced to French by somebody going, "Bonjour, Susie! Comment ça va? And so, when I graduated, it took me a long time to lower my voice just to ask for a coffee and a croissant. Sorry, I interrupted, Kim. Go on.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, first of all, I just want to say this is my first time at the event as well. I've wanted to come to them for such a long time, every time, just to meet you. So I finally actually was able to come this time.
I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, Katie.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a question, but I also have a gift that I'd like to show you.
Ask the question first.
Yeah. So my question is, what are your top 3 favorite things about yourself and your personality? Yeah.
I don't know that I can answer that question without tissues. Are there any tissues?
Kiana, do we need tissues?
What are the top 3 things I like about myself?
Yeah, personality-wise.
Ooh. That's a little, I find that really difficult to answer. Even the things that I think I like about myself, I don't, actually. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think honestly to answer that question, is that one of the things I pride myself in is never being satisfied, never, always questioning, always being full of doubt. And of course, the moment I say that, I think, what a shitty characteristic to have as a person. No. But it is. It's relatable. Look, that's my boyfriend over here. Seen him for ages. You don't call. What happened?
And to make it easier, what's one thing that your castmates all said that they loved about you?
I wouldn't even know because I don't listen because I got the earpods in and I'm not
listening to classical music.
How do you get
as
through
she's
the
doing?
doubt? How do you get through the doubt if you're a perfectionist and you really struggle to accept maybe like the final.
Yeah, I would think that the idea of never being thinking you're finished, like never being stopping questioning, never, it can always and it will always be better, and it's usually better 6 months after you've finished it. You go, oh, that was damn, that it's never sort of sitting still with your curiosity and your questioning and your desire to do the best you can. Which is also, as I say, a really kind of corrosive and crippling thing as well. I'm trying to so I haven't learned how to kind of keep the balance within that.
And you have to, bring it over here. So while she's bringing it up here, I'm just going to say this. Do you think, like there's manifestation boards people have?
Yes.
I think you manifested your character to never die, because you said you never have enough, you never want to finish. There you go. She was like, right. I am never finished.
That's the thing we share.
Never finishing.
Never give up.
Never give up, never surrender.
Never die.
Where did she go? Did she go in the box?
Never die.
Oh, there you are.
I kind of like that I'm very tall. That's one thing I like.
Ooh. Wow. Oh, wow, that's gorgeous.
Katie.
That is beautiful. Hold it up to your face. Let's see. I meant next to your face. I can't. I love it. All right, guys, one last time, I want everyone to give this amazing, incredible, fearless, talented actress a huge round of applause. Pamela Rabe on the stage. They love to hate you, and they hate to see you go. Even as they make their way to the stage, everybody, let's hear it. One more time for Socratis Otto. He's hiding. Come on, guys, one more time. Let's hear it for Socratis Otto. Let's hear it for Our Lady. Right there is perfect. You look good wherever you go. Let's hear it for Tammy Macintosh. Keep it going, guys. Don't stop that applause and that screaming. Let's hear it for Danielle Cormack. And the scariest one of all, last but certainly not least, let's hear it for Pamela Rabe. For the lady who put it all together. We wouldn't be here today without Kiana. Now, right now, what we're going to do is we're going to have all of these amazing cast members. They're going to take a seat right down here with our staff members for an autograph signing. This is where your hands hurt. Your faces are hurting from smiling. Everybody, I want you to make sure that you get on. Where are they getting online, Kiana?
Sure. It's my attempt at
they fired her for no reason. They got a military position. So it broke her heart, and we're theater freaks. Our daughter was born with actors and actresses. I mean, Julie Harris, the great Julie Harris. I worked with her. I worked with so many people in that theater.
You don't know me when I don't know you.
Need to believe there was no hell on earth. Was that what we know? But every day just seems to worsen. We were prepared at all. Tell me why ain't nothing but a party. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I want it that way.
I'm muffin, and it's muffin time. Who wants a muffin? Please, I just wanna die. Please, somebody kill me. Please, it's muffin time. Have you had a muffin today? I wanna die, die, die.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead.
Didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, carry on.
I'm not faced, only here to sin. If you've rain in your garden, you know that you can. Call me when you want, call me when you need. Call me in the morning, I'll be on the way. Call me when you want, call me when you need. Call me out by your name, I'll be on the way. Like, certain man in Russia long ago.
He was big and strong, in his eyes a flaming glow.
Most people look at him with terror and the fear.
But to Moscow chicks, he was such a lovely dear.
Do you remember when it first started? September, love was changing the minds, tender, while chasing the clouds away.
It's M to the B, 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 bang.